Harrisburg Stampede. Justin Coble with
I
us.
gotta change the freaking.
Oh, there it is.
Basically, they were
It's
playing
Major
Major League with the real game. Yeah.
Oh, shit. There's the Hattie.
Welcome to episode 82 of the None Other Sports Podcast. This is the home of sports talk for the average Joe. My name is Jason.
I'm David.
And we are joined tonight by a returning guest, Jay Coble, owner of the Harrisburg Stampede. Thank you for coming back on and giving our listeners an update. We've been talking about your first appearance a few times here on the show. We've given some updates based on what I have seen on the Facebook page, but I know I can't do it justice like you do. No. So I am very glad to have you back on to hang out with us here for a little bit this evening.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Super excited. Had a lot of fun with you guys last time. And yeah, I mean, there's just so many updates. We can only post so much and, do it justice on the social media. Gotta do it the Mark Zuckerberg way, so many posts a week with the algorithms. But I'm super excited. Season, I mean, when we talked, it was what we were probably, how long ago was that?
It was in October. It was early October.
Yeah, somewhere there.
We were just pushing 6 months out. Excuse my face. I need to get a haircut. But weather hasn't been working with me. But yeah, man, we're less than 80 days out. Football's coming like a freight train. I mean, the season kicks off less than 60 days. Our leagues. The good part for us is we're 3 weeks behind. And we put all our bye weeks on the first front end. And so we're going to have film to review and sort of see everybody else. And then they're going to think they're running away with the league. And then here we come like a freight train and storm back and, put them back in their place. But yeah, we're super excited. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You're always welcomed on here.
Absolutely. We're just eager to get to a game.
Yes, absolutely. I know a couple of people are excited to go to. My wife has mentioned that the four of us, our family, should go to a game. We got some friends who mentioned about going to games. I can tell you personally, I watched some of the training camp videos that you posted on YouTube, and I thought that was really cool to get that insight and watch how that takes place and what you guys do for that. That was really cool to get that insight.
I'll give you some good insight on that because, I mean, we did 2 workouts. We did 2 tryouts. And then we're now having next Sunday, we're having the players are itching at the bit to get together. I mean, we've done some other things to get together. We're still forming the team. We're close. We're close to what we'll probably move forward with. But it's, it's like a cake. We're just always perfecting and trying to get it right. So we have 36 guys signed right now of our 40 camp roster, and we'll go into camp beginning of March with 40 guys, and then it's gonna be a whole different. If you like the video, then wait till you see the training camp video. We're gonna be taping and recording it. We'll be putting together different videos and stuff like that. And I tell you, you're gonna get a good. One of the things that I like to do at this level, we don't have a hard knocks like HBO or whatever, but is really give that insight, the inside viewer that doesn't know how we do the process. Also, I try to do it because it gives a huge marketing tool, not from just the team, but for players. Little things, there's have you seen the TV show Reacher?
Yeah, I've
Bits
seen
and
a few
pieces.
Episodes. Yeah.
So he always says, he's like, it's in the details, or details matter, details can count. And that is a big deal. So one of the things that, we believe in, you look good, you feel good, with the merchandise you're wearing that, David, and, apparel, and also for the player. I mean, I want them to feel like they're part of the team. So we spent a lot of money on our partnerships. We spent a lot of money on our apparel. And, from the moment our guys came in, we try to run that as a professional combine. So our first one was a combine. Our second one was a workout. The combine is, they registered. Most of them paid to be there, which is very common. A lot of people will go, I don't want to pay to try out to be football. I'm too good for that. Well, then you really haven't been around very much. There's only one combine in the country that's fully free. That's the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. The NFL runs 4 regional combines: Arizona, Florida, that used to do one in Baltimore, Chicago, and things like that. They charge for those. People don't realize this. When you see UFA, an unrestricted free agent, signed after the draft, those guys, a lot of them might not have gone to a combine. They may have went to Indianapolis and not got drafted, but there's a majority of them that have gone to regional combines. And the NFLs do send out a scout or a coach, and they're there. But that's where they get their time. They do their 40, they do their broad jump, they do their cone drill, they do their L drill. And at those times, they can get their measurables, their weightlifting, their benching, and all that. And players become a number. That's what they look at. Most players, before a coach ever or a scout looks at your film, they're looking at your measurables. So what we do at this level of football is, one, we're trying to build our team, and I'm trying to get good guys, but I'm also trying to sort of weed out, I don't want to discourage guys that are not in shape or don't want, they want to put on for their city. They want to put on a local team. Everybody does. We want them to. But measurables don't lie. If you're running a 5.4, you're probably not going to make our team. Just, our linemen are running 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, And so that sort of helps that with that. But our combine, we treat everybody the same. We bring them in. They're going to get their picture taken. They're going to get their shirt, depending on their position, offense or defense. They're going to fill out their insurance paperwork. We go through the whole process. They actually sign a contract, everything there. So they get the feel of what it would be like at a higher level. XFL and USFL just merged, but they still do the same thing. And then we take them out, and our strength and conditioning coach goes through the whole process and stretches them out, gets everybody as a team lined and drilled. You really, as a coach, you can start to sort of see who's used to, when you say line it up, get on the line, and 5 of them are looking around trying to figure out what you're talking about. They probably haven't played much organized football, but we get them lined up, stretch them all out. Then we break them down into quarters, and each coach runs a different drill station. And we measure them. We use laser. We use stopwatches. We do everything, get their measure. The only thing we don't do at the combine is the bench. And then we'll go into position drills. You'll put the running backs and receivers, tight ends together, quarterbacks, and then you'll go put the linebackers and the D-line, and we'll go from there. And then we get into what we call Skelly, which is, basically all of the skill guys without the big guys down in the line. And then we'll get together a team and we'll run some and see, based upon, we had a great turnout. I think it was in the 60s or 70s for our first one. We had guys that flew in from there, from Florida, Georgia.
Wow.
We had guys. I think that, and I'll be honest, I think that it's not just about me. I think it's really got to do with my coaches. It's got to do with the reputation that we've worked hard many, many years ago to build, that we're a solid program and that we're going to be honest and fair. So that travels. Believe it or not, 10 years away, it still travels that, hey, that Harrisburg, oh, yeah, he used to own a team. I heard he was good. My brother played up there, or my brother tried out, or whatever it is. Those coaches are good. They'll former NFL coaches, and they're honest. And so we had a great turnout. We signed some guys there, actually had a really good turnout. We obviously do some guys, we go straight from film, or we get recommendations from agents. We do a lot of networking with agents that are representing, let's say they have a stable of 40 guys, 30 of them are, playing CFL, XFL, USFL at the time, and arena. They're all trying, they might have 2, 3 agents. It's funny, there's more agents that don't have guys in the NFL than agents that do. But the ones that do have a couple guys in the NFL, or don't, but are trying to get a guy there, they're recommending also. So my coaches and me talking to agents, having that rapport, like we're talking here, we hit it off well. That's important. If an agent likes your program, likes your staff, likes you, they're gonna, hey man, I got this really good guy, because when you get into the arena football, the leagues, they try to tell you what leagues are better and all this. That's not. All of the leagues in arena ball are on the same plateau. I've seen guys from IFL, NAL, AIF, and AFL, which I don't know what that's. We can talk about that in a little bit. But those leagues all funnel up. If you are a good football player and you're in shape and you got good film, you got the chance to move up. So is it hard? Yeah, I'm going to be honest, because like I said, you're immeasurable. Most of those guys that before an agent or a scout will ever look, or a coach, they're looking, what do they run to 40? Oh, they had, 14 interceptions in the Arena League, they're looking at your measurables. They're not looking at you. They're not looking at your body. They're not looking at your film. But if you can do something in that and maybe get them to look at your film, or your agent can get them to look at your game film and something tweaks their eye. Because it's the same way with us. We have agents sending us film and we're looking at film from guys. I'd say probably 10 to 15 we sign without actually coming to our workout. We get what they call a camp exemption, where we're just straight to camp. You're signed. You're good enough. You're what we're looking for. Doesn't mean they're going to make the team. They still have to earn the spot on their helmet. But that's the real thing, is that we try and take these. So as we tell everybody at the combine, listen, man, we give you a card as you exit. It's got all your measurables on it. Go home, work on it. You don't need me to tell you what your measurables are good or not. You can Google it, and you know if you're balling. You know if you're running fast. You know if you're not. You know if you're lifting good. Like if you're jumping high, there's no lying in that. And
right.
You can't blame. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are like, oh, I don't like that coach. That coach didn't this, or that. I didn't get a fair shake. Well, that's the beauty of Matrix with Combine. That's on you. You can't blame us if you didn't run fast. But, we had a really good atmosphere, so we tell them to work on it. And then we do the second workout, and we invite everybody that worked out. Like, if you didn't get signed, but you went home and you really – I mean, maybe you got a few extra pounds on you. You need to shed some weight. Maybe you need to hit that weight room and your cardio a little bit harder. Then they can go do that. And they come back.
Nice. And
then we also bring in more invited guys and more guys that register and stuff. So then we go more to a team atmosphere. That was great. We even signed on our second. I think we signed 6 guys, which is phenomenal because, you sign, and some of the guys came back. We had like over 50 guys in the second workout. And we bring back a lot of the players that get signed. We tell them, hey, you need to come back out too. So I'm excited about that because you get to see that. That's why we did it. I don't know. Did you see that parody with Matt Moyer that we did?
I think I missed that. I tried to watch as many of them as I could.
Yeah.
Every time you have a video, I take the time to try and watch it if I can.
So I'll send it over to you. So this one, it didn't, I'll probably get blasted for this. We didn't get completely what I really envisioned with this, but we went with, there's a local, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like Channel 5 Ratchet News or something in Harrisburg, but he has a huge following.
I've heard of it, yes.
Okay, and he's sort of got it dialed in on some of the, and he's trying to turn it into a news, more respected news. But he keeps it a little more cutting edge than traditional news. But he's also a comedian. So we talked, the coaches and all, we invited him out to be sort of a brand ambassador for the day. We let him work out, and he filmed content working at the combine, then went home and edited it and made sort of a parody video, which is funny. If you get it, I'll definitely think you guys will enjoy it. It's I had to do a little disclaimer with all the people working out, like, hey, this is not minimizing what you're doing. We're just doing this for likes. We're doing this to get exposure. He has 75,000 followers in Harrisburg, and he was there for probably about an hour and a half. But it was great. He's running the 40, and I think like an 8-year-old almost beat him. Right? He's like 300+ pound guy, big guy, and he's wearing like a large shirt that's like a belly shirt. Looked like the unprofessional Zeke with the belly shirt, but it was good. And we want our fans. We had some our second. I got a lot of requests. I wouldn't say a lot, but I got some people asking if they come out. So we opened both of them up. We were in the net and allowed people to come. So we had some season ticket holders come out to watch. And, so it was pretty cool. There's actually a picture where it's like 40 people on the sideline watching it, fans and probably girlfriends and moms. But I think it was good to, get that, I think, dust off the cobwebs. We're back. The guys are super excited now. They're itching. So, we're going to have a mini camp on Sunday night. We're going to go 3 hours. And that's the big thing. Once we get to camp, man, it's shoulder pads and helmets, and you start banging. We don't replicate that in a combine workout. So it changes a whole lot when you put the walls up and guys are running into walls. And let me tell you, the walls are undefeated. They've never lost. And when I don't care how great you are, when you run into a wall, full speed, 4.5 foot wall, and hit that thing, you remember real quick if you love this game or not. It separates the boys and the men. So with that being said, we're excited for that. I mean, that's, the next phase, I would say, is that we're now past the finding the guys. We're now going to camp, and we're gonna separate. We're gonna get the 25 dogs. I want the guys that are ballers, that are tough. You got to be tough to play for the Stampede. We are not. I know the new age. It's like, oh, put them in high motion and have little guys running around fast and all. We're gonna hit you on the offense and the defense. So with that being said, if any of these other coaches, y'all are listening, we're going to hit you in the mouth, so you better bring some tough guys, because even if we lose, you're going to feel it the next day. If your team is not feeling it on Sunday, we didn't do it right, but they will be. So we're excited. We go to camp beginning of March, 3 weeks, 4 nights a week. They'll be in camp, and then we'll trim down to the roster and get down to our 25 man. We got a really, really good roster. We got some big signings coming up. I can't announce them, but I can tell you that maybe their college colors were blue and white, possibly. We got a former NFL player's son that is signed with us that we haven't announced yet, but we will be announcing. And he's a dog. He played SEC football. And so we got some great guys that'll be announced. So stay tuned. I mean, in the next 45 days, it's going to be like every day you're just making a big announcement. I mean, today I love all the announcements, but if you saw today's, we partnered with the Humane Society.
I did see that.
So we're going to be doing a pet of the month, up for adoption, helping them. They're overwhelmed with people giving their animals back because of the cost of food and the living and all this. And so they're flooded. We don't think about that when we go to the grocery store. We know gas is expensive and food is, but people are record numbers. So what they've been doing is educating that, people that feel like they can't take care of their animal because of financial, reasons, they have veterinary services offered that are income-based. And they're sort of capped, like we can come in, you can get your dog shots, you can get your dog taken care of and still take your dog home. So it'll help them eliminate some of the people that feel like they have to get rid of their dog during this economic tough time. And so we're really excited to be partnering with them as we get closer into the season. Our players will be volunteering there working. So if you know anybody wants to volunteer as ours, the Humane Society of Harrisburg really does. It's actually greater Harrisburg. It's actually encompasses a few counties. But, if they have 85 dogs and they got to walk them all every day, and they walk them 10 minutes, do the math. It's a lot of walking. It's a lot of time. And so they're looking for people. So we partnered with every one of our games. And we had talked about this, but we hadn't chosen them and hadn't gotten them worked out. Every game we're partnering with a nonprofit. And that's very big. We wanted those grassroots, local nonprofits that we can help make a difference in our community. If we play football, that's great. We can fill the stands and we can have a great time and make it a family event. But to be able to be an impact in our community and give back, that's where it's at. Like, we can have fun and also be about business and still have fun doing it, but make an impact and reach our community. And that's what I want to do. And then we're going to do it. We've already started it. So I'll have to send you guys some posters and some scheduled cards and things we have. We have 11 of those just came out last week. So they're going to start flooding all the businesses every business has told us no. Right now we're in phase 1. Every business has told us no, that they couldn't wouldn't even give us a meeting. We're going in there and we're giving them posters. Well, you said no, and you gave us one.
I could definitely, I could probably put one up in my grandfather's barber shop here in where I live.
That'd be great. I'll mail you out some.
Everyone goes to him, so you're getting a couple thousand people in a week at his barber shop who would see that poster.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're really nice. They tell you the player that we're retiring, what player. Then they're telling you the nonprofit that we're spotlighting. Our fourth game is our military appreciation game. And then it also has a QR code. They go right online and buy tickets and things like that. And we have so many things moving parts. So I'm super excited and to get to camp. And, we had an event last week on Saturday with Warhorse, one of our sponsors. They do ATVs out here. So they had like a bourbon and brews and food and drinks. BMW sponsored it, so we had a table, and we were giving away some shirts and tickets and koozies and mini footballs, and we had 12 players and staff there mingling and talking to people, and so it was great. We're always looking for opportunities to be in the community and looking to expand our footprint. But football's coming, man. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, we're going to play some great football.
And David will vouch for this too, because we said the exact same thing when we wrapped up the show with you last time. What sold us on the team more than just the football was, and you just touched on it now, was the commitment to the community. And I think that is so important, like you do. And the excitement you bring is so freaking infectious.
It is, definitely, for sure, because I want to say after we ended that show, ended that episode, we were on for another half hour just talking about it. Yeah. It's just how excited we were. Just from everything, we were so.
Yeah, you
excited.
Had us fired up. We would have went on the field. Kicked off and tried to be, return a punt or something.
Bring the oxygen tank, but yeah, sure. But yeah,
and that's what we want. I want people to. I want people to feel like they believe in me and believe in my company and my team. It's not me. I'm the face of it as the owner right now, but as we get our local players in position and start doing marketing around them. But, I really committed to, and I don't even I have probably 10, 15 positions unfilled. But when we find the right person, we plug them in. Most of our positions are volunteer and stuff. We do have a full-time general manager, but I have an army of guys around me. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, my assistant GM, my GM handles the sponsorship, most of that. I work with him on that. But my assistant GM has went out and worked hours getting our nonprofits on board and getting them into position. And without his help, I just couldn't fit any more hours into it. My coaches have just ran with the player side. I'll be honest, I've gotten 100 people send me videos, and I'm just like, cut and paste. Please email Bernie at HBG Stampede. Please email Coach Rick at HBG, and I just forward it on to them, and they're running with it. We have a player development, guy, that Milton, he's handling like really pipelining guys out of Philly. He's working with all of our coaches, filling in needs where we need them. But like, they're looking at hours and hours of film. They're talking to agents. They're going and, looking, and I couldn't do it without that. But I will say that was the whole intention when we came back, is we're not going to run this seasonal. We're not going to call ourselves professional arena or professional indoor football and run it as a seasonal thing. We're going to run it as a business 365 days a year. And that's what I want. I want people that are like, as hungry, like, hey, it's a part-time little job. I might only do 4 hours or 8 hours a week, but I'm passionate about it. I believe in the product. I believe in my community. And I mean, I haven't had to, but if somebody doesn't really believe in our product, I don't want them to be a part of our team, because you feel it. You said it's infectious. That's the way it should be. I want you to feel like that he's excited about his product that he's doing, and I'm not lying and bullshitting. You could tell who's a used car salesman that is just, hyping you up. And we do believe in it. I've said it from the beginning. If I had to write down like the core things that we said, we are a community-based team. We're going to be community-based. I don't care if I don't want to be, and we won't be, but if we were 0-9, we still could be community-based. If we're 9-0, we still could be community-based. That has irregardless to what we do inside the walls. What we do outside the walls changes lives. What we do inside the walls is entertainment. It's fun. Yes, are we trying to get film and help our young guys move up the league? Absolutely. But if you don't ever move up and ever get anything, you still can change people's lives and make a community better. I'm not under that adage where the world is falling apart and we can't fix it. We can fix it. It just needs a lot of people with that mindset that we can make it better. We can be the change that we want to see. Those are quotes that are out there. I don't know who quoted that, but it's true. We need to start being the change right here. If we all unite together in the Stampede, we work with the nonprofits. We can help those nonprofits with education to the community, helping their children. I mean, I could go down the list, and we'll do that in a minute. I'll let you know like a synopsis of the 5 nonprofits and how they came about and what we're doing with them. I will tell you, when you start serving other people and trying to get involved, it is unbelievable what you find out. It is unbelievable. We literally set up meetings with these nonprofits, and it goes both ways, good and bad. We got it. We went to a meeting, and I won't name the company on air, but we went to a nonprofit and really thought it was going to be this was going to be one of them. And we had a great tour. And within 2-3 weeks, figured out they didn't really give a shit about a partnership. They didn't really care about. They preached this, that the strong pillars of partnership are volunteerism, hours, guys, people actually working with us, volunteering, man hours, and then monetary. That's an important pillar of partnership. Found out that they're full of shit. All they cared about was the money. So it came out to, what is the Stampede going to give us? What kind of money? And I'm like, listen, what's coming from me? Yeah, I'm making you a big fat check, and we're going to donate it at halftime and do a halftime presentation. But I don't know what I'm going to do. My heart, I know what my mind and heart wants to do, but I probably can't afford that year one. But I can tell you this, we're going to try our best. And, they wouldn't even commit to us till we gave them a monetary number. So we had the lawyer send over just a really respectful, like, maybe we're just not the right partner. Well, when one door closes, one more opens, and we ended up being able to get another partner that just aligned with us. But you'll see when I talk about that, we had different things with every partnership and nonprofit that we had no idea. You go with these preconceived ideas, and then you walk out. And it's funny because I go in, and I'm like, we're going to help you. I'm going to make my players available to you. I'm going to try to give you a donation, get my fans behind your organization. And I think this is how I'm going to help them. And then I walk out and I find out that they do totally different stuff that I had no idea about. And now I'm excited to partner with them because now I feel like I can do more. So that's awesome. I did hear, it's funny that you say that, because last time I'm on with you, I get off and I don't know what I was going to say. I shared it with and my assistant GM, Greg, messaged me the next day. He's like, you need to get back on there. Did you hear what they said about you when you got off? I was like, no. He's like, they went on and talked about you for another 10, 40 minutes, 30 minutes. He's like, go listen to it. He goes, like, they're excited. And I said, well, then that was what I want. I want people to be excited. And when they come see it, I want you to be like, all right. So you want to talk about the nonprofits? Can we do that real quick?
Yeah. You have carte blanche, man.
I do have to say something first.
Sure.
Your attitude with everything is just one of those things that's contagious. On your want, your
appreciate it.
Not just a need, but a want, because a need and a want are two different things, and you just have that want, not just to make a good football team, but to help a whole community in general. Yeah. And that would make and when you can get people behind that, like you said, it's just endless.
Yeah. And we're doing one person at a time, like, would I love to sit there and get a bigger response? Absolutely. But I feel like we can do this one at a time and they start to see it. And when you see it and, and buy into it, you can support that, like, you want to support things that you like. You want to support things that you believe are making a difference, that are, and not wasting your people's time, their resources, or their money. And that is infused across the whole board with my staff. Like, we're going to run it professional. We're going to do it fun. We're going to have fun doing it. But let us go in there and let people see our passion, And I love football. I could watch football. My girlfriend thinks I watch it all the time. I don't think I watch it the whole summer, but I also enjoy, as I get older, and you guys have kids, so this. Christmas isn't about what you get. Christmas is about making those kids smile and happy, and when you see the joy on your kids, I don't care about the overtime at that point. We don't care about the finances of the bills that might be later or you're paying, it's about them being happy and seeing and everything. That's what it is about volunteering and making a difference in your community. You're giving. As you get older, I see, like, we go to an event and you see people so happy and they're enjoying, and they're thanking us for coming and jumping in cold water for, a polar plunge for the Humane Society. They're thanking us for coming to their nonprofit event and helping them. We're just bringing players and dancers, dance team, and our coaches out there. We're honored to be a part of it, but then they're here to turn around and turn. So that's how you're being great, though. If you're doing a nonprofit or you're doing volunteer work and you're feeling fulfilled, but they're also thanking you and feeling fulfilled. If you walk away and you're like, then you're not. Oh my, yeah, we're on a podcast. It's all good. You're not feeling fulfilled. Then something's not right. That's a measurable that you can do pretty quickly, Or you're driving home from an event and you're like, man, that was really cool. Like, I'm pumped about that. Like, that nonprofit, they're doing right, or I like that. You feel like you were part of something good. That's a good measurable. And so our first game, I don't have my list in front of me. I'm going to probably butcher this. I do know the organizations. I think the first game of the year is the Bethesda Mission. So again, talking about going to these preconceived ideas, I went with Bethesda Mission. I thought that it's a homeless shelter. That's all I really knew. I thought that they had a women's program, but I didn't know. And I knew it was in the city. So that's pretty much the extent of what I knew. So we lined up and did a conference call and had meetings, and come to find out some big things we gleaned. Yes, they have a battered women's and drug use side that they work with just women. They have the men's shelter, and they also have a community center that they run after school and like summer school or summer programs for teenagers, youth. And I'm like, wow, didn't know that. So when we started, well, what can we do to help you? Obviously, donations, financial donations are great, but what else can we do? And they're like, well, honestly, we would love for your players to come in and sit with our men who are depressed, who are downtrodden, who are down in their luck, maybe struggling with substance abuse or whatever, or criminal past that they're trying to get out of a cycle. And he's like, and be able to sit down, play cards with them or talk to them, mentor them. I had never even given that a thought, that there are men that are carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders and could use a friend, could use a mentor, and might look at this football player as that. I look at these as young men. I mean, they're men. They're not kids. These are college. Most of their kids are out of college. Our men are out of college. But I had never really thought from that angle before. And then, it gets those wheels burning where you're like, wow, man, there is people that are hurt and going through something tonight more than I am. So we're like, yeah, we can do that. What else can we do? And they're like, well, we'd really, really, we love the financial donations, but help with our soup kitchen, help, come in, cook the meal, feed them. They really would really be touched to see you guys there. And we're like, all right, yeah, we could do that. And then we started talking about the youth center, and we're like, so when did you guys get this? Find out that they have this. They get a lot of money, and grants and stuff for it. And we're like, well, why don't we do a football camp? You have the kids. You guys have the inner city kids that come there every day that are, rough home life, don't know where mom and dad might be, don't know, they feed them a lot at this community center. I'm like, so if we run a day camp before the game, can you bring these kids and, we'll work out logistics, but we'll take care of the shirts. Well, I'll bring my football players and the staff, coaches will run a camp. They loved it. So that was the Bethesda Mission, and we're so excited to partner with them. They're on our 11x17 posters. Literally, we put our nonprofits on there because we're highlighting them, featuring every game. And yeah, we're going to do a monetary donation. We'll also probably have like a sheet that goes with the game program that you can scan a QR code and do a $1, $5, $10 donation to them. Our fans can do. And I would, we'll make a plea, for our fans, take your game program out, take that Bethesda Mission QR code. We're not asking you to do 5 and 10. If you so feel like you can or afford it, go for it. But if all of you today at this game would give $1, and there's 2,000 of you, we could make them a $2,000 donation from you, and the team will also give them a donation. And that would help. It goes a long way, you know. And that's really where, you know, I was talking with that other nonprofit. They're looking at me like, what? $2,000? Well, these other nonprofits are like, if you give me $2,000, I'm going to be crying on your field. So we had a real big disconnect, I think, with the one nonprofit. When I'm talking to them and I'm telling them my idea, do you think this will work or do you think it's good? And they're like, Justin, you could give us a $500 check and we're ecstatic. You brought players in, you did the volunteerism, you know, you came in and worked the kitchen, you're playing with the kids and helping mentor them with the men. We're winning. And here I'm like, we're feeling like we're not even doing enough. Yeah. So I'm super excited. That's the big thing. That's the first football camp of the season. I think it's the the Bethesda Mission. The second one is our Big Brothers Big Sisters. So years ago, I'd work with the schools and I could put players into the school and have them volunteer, and it was great. You know, they had their own cheering section. But with FBI background checks and all that stuff, you needed to have clearances. So we've partnered with the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Harrisburg. They are already ingrained in these schools running programs and stuff. They know where they need volunteers, where they need more help. And they've stepped up and they are doing all the background checks for all my players and all of my staff. So they'll get those taken care of so we know that we're on the legit. And then they can be like, hey, do you have guys in camp or you guys have housing that can come work at this school for this week for a couple hours on this program? And we'll find. They're committed to bringing us about 100 kids from their programs in the schools. And we're going to do a football camp, the second game of the season with them.
Nice.
Wow.
You know, so
that's great.
It is. And, you know, you won't see, it's not going to be advertised. There's going to be no social media, probably post football camp. We are running 4 football camps every game, 1 through 4. We have a football camp. So 12 to 1:30, you want to show up and see something cool, come look out. We're going to have a bunch of kids. I don't know the numbers with Bethesda Mission. I know it's going to be probably around 100 kids with the Boys and Girls Club. Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Game 3 is our Easter Seals. Well, it's actually Humane Society. That's the Humane Society game. They're not doing a football camp with the pets. But what we're doing...
where's the puppy bowl?
That's right. They're going to bring some puppies. They're going to bring some dogs. We're going to put them... You know, we have like a photo booth that they put their email and their phone number and they get an email. And we're going to have puppies or dogs there that they can take pictures, you know, with the puppies or do adoptions and stuff. Obviously present them a monetary check at halftime. And same thing. We're going to have that QR code. And, you know... I don't want to feel like we're at church and we're begging for money, but yeah, we're going to be begging like fans. Hey, we're not asking for a lot. We're asking for $1, $5, $10. If you're single mom, you don't have a lot, that $1, all of us together as a family working together as fans, if we all go give $1, we can really help them. We can feed the dogs for over a month, you know, and that's the big one that I want to stress to the fans. If you can't afford it, can't do it, don't. But if you can give $1 through that QR code or through that landing page, take you right to the nonprofit. And we're not just like, that's the thing about a partnership. It's 2 ways, you know. I don't want it to feel like the fans to be annoyed that we're asking for money, but I also want them to understand that this money is going to their community. It's staying locally. It's not going somewhere else. And these people are appreciative of it. They don't care if we give them $500 or $200, $10,000. It's staying local to Harrisburg, Central PA. While that game happens that day, Easter Seals, which is one of our original nonprofits we worked with 12 years ago, they have their special needs kids. We did a camp before. I knew I had hit a home run. One of the things we did right and 10 years ago is Easter Seals special needs camp. My players and staff told me it was like it touched them. They were moved. They're walking back to the locker rooms and they're like, Jay, man, that was different. I've never done that before. Like that really hit home because we only had like 10 kids special needs and they recommend 2 to 3 adults per child I think it goes up to young adults, but with the needs, you know, some of them are on walkers, but some are in wheelchairs and they take a lot of care. And I remember that Marcus and I got to sit in the stands with parents and specifically grandparents, older people that were primary caregivers, and they were moved. They were moved to see the kids smiling and see the players and coaches running them through cones and wheelchairs and just playing with them and having fun with them. And I remember the director at the time, she says, you know, I didn't think you would do this because it's only 10, 12 kids. And I'm like, we don't care if you bring 10, 5, whatever, if we're making an impact. And she said, it's really making a touch in the parents. And I got to talk to them. And I said, you know, that's all a parent wants, is their kid to feel normal and to enjoy, like put a smile, just like at Christmas. And they're like, this is touching them. I did learn one thing back then. We were given tickets to the parents and the families. And we found out, I didn't know the exhaustion and the amount of work getting them in a van and out of a van and feeding tubes and all this stuff. So some of the things that the families were saying, you know, like, we might not make it tonight, but thank you for the tickets, because we've been out, you know, to get them here at noon is exhausting. Go home and have that break and get them back. So what we're doing is we're giving them tickets to all the games. They can come to any game they want. And so if they go home and they're exhausted and they can't make it back out, they can come the next week or the week after, whenever it may be. But, you know, maybe it becomes a 2-day excursion. You know, they go 1 day to the game, 1 day to the camp, but they're filling out. So speaking with the Easter Seals, they'll be on their special needs camp will be on the Humane Society game. And then on our big game, which is on the Military Appreciation May 4th, which, man, that's going to be just special. We have amazing uniforms. The uniform reveal, we'll talk about that, but they're going to wear a special military uniform. So they reached out and finding out information from nonprofits that preconceived ideas that are getting shattered. They have now a veterans kids camp. So Easter Seal has this one division, I guess you could call it, with the special needs. They have a whole other division now. And
that's awesome.
They have hundreds of kids in Central PA that they do summer camp for kids that have parents that have PTSD and veterans. So we've already met with them, and they're going to bring, 100, 150 kids out for that camp. We're going to do it on the Military Appreciation Game, bring their parents to the game, bring the children. So our fifth and final game is going to be a women's football clinic where there are fans, the women can sign up and come out and learn how to throw a football and how to tackle. And we'll bring out the tackle dummies, and the coaches and players will run them through everything. And we'll really have a really cool and get them some jerseys and stuff and get them really hyped up about football, learning about football. But one of the questions I always got asked, people go, why didn't you run a flag football league, or why didn't you run a camp that you advertised to the kids or, your fans? And I said, in year one, I didn't want to do that because I was also afraid, the reality, I run that and 10 people show up, not really a good football camp. But also I want to make a difference when we're that community-based team. So why invent a new wheel? Why go and try to pull and advertise? I can only reach so much through social media, marketing, advertising, and, things, people that know about us. We obviously want more people to know about us, but fast forward, these programs are in place. These nonprofits, they're jumping to bring their kids to an event and give them tickets to a game and have them do a football camp and all. It's a great outing for them. They already have the kids, so why don't we bless them and work with them? It seems like and I'll just throw this out there, everything now, people don't want to work together. They just want to start something new. Oh, I don't get along with you, so I'm going to start LIV golf instead of the PGA. It's like monopolies, Right. Oh, I don't want, it's the same way with arena football. Oh, I don't want to, we could have a monster league with 25 teams if all the three of the leagues joined together and agreed. But nobody. There's three people that want to own them. There's, they want to run their league the way they run it and think they're the best. So we sort of, I don't want to say we water down our product, but we make three instead of working together to make a power league and really be something. Look what USFL and XFL did. They figured out that, listen, we're both fighting for that share. Let's come together. Let's both own it. We're gonna have less teams, but we're gonna step a foot back, but we're gonna come forward and that's how they're going to get on the major networks. That's how they're going to get into being a farm system for the NFL. So
they're worth more together than they are apart.
Correct. Yeah. Amazing how many smart people don't get that.
Are they really smart at the end of the day?
Sure. I do think that there's some of them. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know.
What is common sense?
Work together, you know? So, like, I said that about the football camps. Like, they have the kids. Why would I go try to fight and get kids? Let's just work with them and invite them. And we've had great response. Our nonprofits, man, I'm not going to lie, they're kicking ass, man. We talk to them almost weekly. And, I mean, like, getting that post up. So we'll have a pet of the month every month for the Humane Society. It goes right to there. And, I mean, you know.
The one you posted tonight, that was a cute pup.
Yeah. Been sitting there, man, since October.
So, fun fact about, no, it's my brother-in-law's pup. Him and his wife adopted a dog named Rad from the Humane Society. When they adopted Rad, at that point, he was the dog that was there the longest. I think he was there for like 4 or 5 years when they adopted him. Right. He is one of the sweetest dogs I have ever met. Why anyone passed him over is a shame. Launch. But my brother-in-law and his wife were the perfect people for him.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, we took a tour of their facility and got to see and like how much they've upgraded. Like, what I had in my mind, man, like this rundown, stinky, nasty place, like old cages and stuff. Dude, they're state of the art. Like, they're biometrics to get into certain rooms, bro. Like, climate control, like everything's digital, man. Like, if it's not certain temperature in one area with the cats, like, they know. And it's like really cool. They have like these sheets, you know, used to be all clipboards. Hey, I took the dog walk this time and this person, and like you can't really read their handwriting. It's almost all digitalized now. They have the big one that they're trying to get awareness out is that veterinary services that it's on site right there. You can bring your dog, income based. It's sort of capped. You know, veterinarians are donating their time to work there. And they said, you know, we get people drop animals off and they're just like, I can't afford it. Well, what can't you afford? Is it the food? Is it the, you know, whatever it is? She's bringing me a drink.
You're good. You're good.
But so no, I mean, there's just so many things you learn when you go on hands-on, and like I said, we left every meeting with the nonprofits sort of like, man, this is cool. Like, I'm excited to work with them, and I felt educated, I felt energized, and I felt excited to be a part and work with them. And then I'm like, did we talk about our football team? Like, we forgot to even tell them what we're doing, you know? And that was the cool thing is all of them were just like, you know, Jay, we've never had a meeting like this. And I'm not knocking other teams, you know, at all, but I think there is power in sort of being the owner local and having the team, the front office and the coaches local. So, you know, we don't have a major league club that I got to run it up. We don't have the money and the resources that the other teams do, but we can pivot and be more mobile than they can. There's things they got to get approved. We don't. And we can go and like, if I have a problem with a sponsor has an issue with something we've done or a member of my staff, I can address it, fix it, and handle it much faster. And, you know, if they called us last minute, hey, I have a need. We're doing an event. I forgot. Can you guys come out? We can organize that very quickly. Yeah, man. So we have our uniform reveal coming up. The uniforms have come in, and we're pretty stoked about that.
I can't wait.
We're going to do a press conference. Our military uniform is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be awesome. So we'll have a hype video for that and a presser. You'll be able to see that. That's coming up in the next 2 weeks. We're working on releasing our halftime shows. I will step in there. We have a step team from York, PA that's going to be doing they perform for the 76ers and all that. They'll be performing one of our halftime shows. We have military appreciation game, Center Street, courtesy of Center Street Wing Grill. They're going to be doing a hot wing eating contest. And if you don't know Center Street Nola, he is award-winning wings, and he does flavors that are out of this world hot. But so we're going to be doing, at some point, we'll open up some video submissions, and we're going to have 5-6 people do a hot wing eating contest for a halftime show. We also have our dance team, our drum corps. That's out of Lancaster. Super excited about them. They're going to have, so I'll give you a small little tidbit to get you excited. We're Warhorse, that has the ATV. So, be it 645-ish, 650, lights fade down. All of a sudden you hear some really crazy rock music or something coming on. And here comes this ATV running out and circling around the field, driven by Warhorse. And our mascot on the back with a big old American flag waving. They come around. And then all of a sudden the music changes, and here comes our dance team. And, they'll do a dance. They form a line. We got some pyrotechnics going, some flashers and flares and stuff and smoke. And then we'll have our drum corps. We're coming up the spine of the farm show, and they will come in, and they're just killing it. It's high energy, Friday Night Lights, Texas style, high school football field. They're going to come on the field. They'll make a line, and then the player introductions will come, and we get all the players introduced and everything, and then we'll go to the national anthem, and we'll have our prayer, and then we'll get ready for some football, and it's going to be great. We've got some great sponsors on board, some great companies that we've signed. We're actually redoing the website a little bit right now, revamping it. But we opened up season tickets a couple months ago. We are 560 season tickets. The record for the Stampede is 610. So we will beat that. And then our single game tickets just a few weeks ago we opened up. And we're seeing a huge, obviously, season opener, and also our military appreciation game. So we're looking to pack out. We need about 1,600 loud, rambunctious people. We have worked. I've had great success. I go to the Susquehanna Football Association board meeting in a couple weeks. They're going to have an outing and bring all their football kids and do a fundraiser. I just talked with a baseball team that we're going to be meeting with them, and they have about 100 kids in their program. And what we found is a lot of these companies, so we or teams, we offer a fundraising opportunity for any organization, youth groups, businesses, nonprofits, charities, sports teams. Basically what we're doing is if you buy a group of 10 tickets, we will split it. You'll get to keep $10 from every ticket. So you sell a $25 ticket to the game, you keep 10 for your organization, you pay us 15. If you sell 100 tickets or more, we'll reverse it. We'll give you 15 of it. We'll take 10. We've had a lot of success with that because this, I don't want to name their organization yet. I don't want to embarrass them or anything like that, but this baseball organization, they said, we've done the pizza, we've done the candy, we've done the subs. They're like, we have to sell a ton. We push them for a month to sell all this. And it's just, you don't make a lot of return. So I said, well, why don't you, instead of trying to raise $3,000 over 4 months, pushing the kids, just put all your efforts into one big fundraiser. I said, so you have 100 kids in this organization. And that means most of them have a sibling, and most of them have at least one parent, be it a parent, grandparent, aunt, uncles, whoever they live with. I said, and go to them and say, this fundraiser is going to be run by the kids, but this is going to be our big fundraiser for the whole year. If we have a $3,000 budget, we're going to try to break it. One fundraiser. This is our game we're going to. You need to sell 3 tickets. You sell 3 tickets, you and your family. You're not selling something that you don't get. You're selling something you're going to go to an outing as an organization anyways. So all your friends are going to go. The whole team's going to go. And you're bringing your parents. And the money's staying with your organization. So you sell 100 tickets, 3 per person. That's 300. They would raise $4,500. $4,500 for the organization for one night out. 3 tickets per kid. Easy to do.
That's huge.
And so when I presented it to them and gave them those numbers, they're like, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like, we can do that. And I was like, I know you can. It's possible. Oh, I did forget one thing, and I need to jump back up because I know she's going to listen to this. Tiffany, we do have another halftime show booked already. Harrisburg Havoc. We have a professional women's football team in Harrisburg. They're nationally recognized, and the Harrisburg Havoc will be playing at one of our halftime games. They will also be selling tickets. We'll be supporting them. We're going to go out to their games, our players and coaches, and support them. But they will be putting on the pads and helmets and playing at halftime, showing you how they play full contact ladies football.
That's awesome.
They're part of a huge – the women get it together more than the men. The women, they have a national league. There's 2 women on the Harrisburg Havoc that I think are playing in Colombia or Peru in an international bowl game.
Wow.
Damn.
So pretty cool that we have some women locally that have been internationally recognized and are playing on Team USA down there in an international bowl game. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
we've got all kinds of things going, but I'm excited about our fundraising. I think we've had a really good success working with some of those teams. And what we'll do is after the game, we'll bring them down on the field. We'll take a big picture of their organization with the mascot and stuff like that. And like I said, we have youth groups that are 10, 15 kids and parents, and they're going to come too,
Yeah, and I want to chime in on that real quick. My daughter has softball. We're signing up for softball again tomorrow. And they do a lot of fundraising. They do Krispy Kremes and they do this and they do that. Let me tell you, Krispy Kremes, they only last so long. But an experience sticks with you. So instead of spending $12 on a Krispy Kreme, you're spending 25, 20, 15, whatever on a ticket to an experience that you'll come away from with either the urge to go again, or you're going to continue to talk about it and you're going to spread the word.
Correct.
And that is worth more than diabetes from having a ton of Krispy Kremes in your house.
Exactly.
And I know from experience from having a ton of Krispy Kremes in my house.
You understand. But that's what I want. I mean, we give gifts to kids now, and it's all about the toys and the PlayStation and all this. Give a gift of an experience. Go as a family. Like I said, our core is to be a community-based team and a family-friendly, game. I will take great pleasure. I'm going to lose money this year. I'm going to spend a lot of personal money, and I wish I wasn't losing. Okay, that will be straight, But if I can go and see families coming out and taking selfies and the family and they enjoy it and the kids are smiling, they enjoyed that product, and then they want to come back year 2 and we gave them an experience, that's going to make it worth it. It's an investment. We have a 5-year plan here. We're not going nowhere, but to sit there and see the kids enjoying that. We don't get out and do enough of that. Families are so busy. And, I got to try to turn a profit. There's a lot of expenses. There's a lot of expenses this year. But from a standpoint of that's what we want to be. That's why I pushed these organizations. I'm like, if you do the fundraiser, I want to give them an incentive. So I'm giving up a lot of skin in the game. I'm giving them a lot of money to help their organization. And I hope that they feel like, hey, we were able to fund our organization, a good chunk of it or all of it for the season, but also our kids had a good experience as a team. Because the one thing that I will say, I really do love about arena football is the travel, the camaraderie. Our team comes together. The players really, at this level, they've played college football, so they're very well versed in, the team part. That's why we're having this mini camp. That was spurred from the players. We got to get together. We got to come on, just get us at a park. Let's just go somewhere. And I'm like, well, we got to follow the league rules, the bylaws. So we'll do a mini camp. They're like, all right. And then we had a nonprofit step up. I mean, not a nonprofit, a business step up and give us a turf for free for a couple hours late at night. So I wasn't having to pay for it, All right. Then I talked to the coaches. Y'all want to do it? They're really asking. Yes, let's do it. And doesn't mean that, we're bringing in guys that are not on our 40-man that might not come to camp, but it's getting that experience and having that camaraderie. And that team building is what I'm hoping these teams. So let's say these football association clubs, the kids, it's more they play baseball or football together, but they get to come out, hang out as a family. They're biological family, but they're also sports family. All their team, and they all build memories and build friendships that'll go into junior high, high school, and beyond, so that we can give an experience that these kids will be 25 years old working somewhere, and they see arena football like, remember we went to our arena game back at, we were 10-year-olds and screaming like crazy and all that. They'll remember those experiences. Everybody remembers your football game, your baseball game, your first arena football or basketball game. You remember all those things. And to be able to enjoy it with their friends and their family, we're given that experience, like you just said. And I think it'll be fun. I mean, I always said I want to be a family. I don't have kids. I don't have any biological kids. They're adopted kids, that like women I've married or dated. And, I always think in high school, I always thought I would have a bunch of kids. So to me, to see the kids happy and to see them enjoying themselves and having a family-friendly product, that's clean, fun. And I think I do, man. I've seen where it doesn't matter what race, color, religion you are. We've seen the 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16, 18-year-olds. They get to enjoy it because, they enjoy the different stuff. 12-year-olds waiting for the free candy when we score, to be thrown in the stands. The 18-year-olds like, oh my goodness, look at that hit. Like that dude just clocked him into the wall. You know what I mean? Things like that. So it's just, we're gonna put all of the stress and all this stuff away from the world and just have a couple hours of good family time. And drum rolls, breaking news to give you guys. So we will be having an autograph signing probably at every game. We're still locking those down, trying very hard to lasso those. The intent is to have a Raven, an Eagle, a Steeler, a Penn Stater, things like that. We've made some headway. I can't release all of them. We might, if we can't do all football, we might go into a wrestling or a baseball player. Might be just a sports player that's a figure. But looks like we're not 100% confirmed. The contract is not signed, but we're farther along. It looks like we might be bringing former Steeler Ryan Shazier to one game, and we'll be running a promotion of buy an autograph ticket, get a free ticket to the game that night. He'll be signing in the lobby, and we'll do that down there. And hoping some Steeler fans get to come out and meet him, and have him do the ceremonial coin toss. And I'm hoping to get another Penn Stater, a couple guys, where we have offers out to a Raven and a Eagle. I will give you a hint on the Eagle and the Raven. The Eagle is probably retiring after this season, and he's on the defensive side of the football. And the Raven that we're really close to being finalized is a former Raven, and he played a very important role in the Mile High Miracle game. So
I smell what you're cooking.
Yeah, you can smell. Yeah, so we're trying to we're trying to really make this. Like I said, we're going to do it. People that I tell people all the time, like if you're going to come to the games, you need to. The doors open at 5. You need to be there around 5 because we're going to have face painting, balloons, and we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff for the kids. The games are going to kick off at 7, right at sharp, and and I think attendance is already showing in the ticket sales. I mean, we today sold a few single game tickets and merchandise. We have 300 and some items on our website. We have T-shirts, we have hoodies, so just a long sleeve with like the thing, and then we actually have sweatshirts, full on sweatshirts. They have the hoodie, but we have all kinds. This one here says Reloaded, so that's our hashtag for this year, and I'm excited for you guys to meet some of the players and see some of that, because what I'll do is we'll maybe get a player or coach to come on here and talk, give you their perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They love that. And I got some players they'll really, I mean, it's cool, man. Like we did that, they call it I don't remember what they called it. It was I call it polar plunge, but on January 1st.
Oh yeah, the polar bear plunge. Yeah.
Polar bear. It was the polar bear plunge. Yeah. And we went up there, and my general manager did it in Stampede shirt, and he wore a helmet in the water. He's a nut. But
I do.
we had some of the players up there, and they really enjoyed that. And seeing some of our guys in our community. I mean, we have some signed linemen from I call them corn-fed players. They played at Bloom, and I think one played at Millersburg, but two I think played at Bloom. But they're big country boys. They're from like Shippensburg area, and they came. I'm having to order like 4XL sweatshirts for them, and they're not 4XL fat. They're 6'5", 320 lean. They're just big, and I'm short, But
I understand. Trust me, I understand. You're gonna see me in person. You're gonna be like, "Yeah, you don't look this big."
Well, I'm trying to lose weight, but it don't, man. When you get over 40, it don't shed like it used to. When I first divorced my first wife, I lost like 60 pounds, man. I was feeling it. I was, single again. I was back on the market. Well, I'm not single, but I'm trying to lose like that mentality, and they don't just lose like they used to.
You can ask David. There was a point in my life back when I played soccer where I could do like a 10-mile run.
Jesus.
Yeah, those days are long gone. Like that's 20 years ago.
I've never done a 10-mile run. I've done them in my dreams. I don't think there's ever, and I mean my peak performance, and I was in shape for a while there. I never enjoyed running. Never. I mean, I just never understood why we had to run a mile if I'm on a football field, and I'll never run more than 50 yards left to right. I'm not going to run the full length of the field. If there's an interception, I played linebacker. If I was an interception and I had to return it 98 yards, you're getting 50 because I'm going down after that. I'm gassed and done. There was no running that 100 yards.
Meanwhile, David's skinny ass was leading in points and assists and goals at Twin Ponds in their top amateur league. So,
don't you hate skinny people?
I didn't do anything.
you just sit there and you can eat anything you probably want, and it doesn't do anything.
No, I feel that I eat a cheeseburger and I just feel like I could eat 20 more, but yet then I feel it the next day.
Yeah. Well, what we do? We walk by, smell it, and gain 3 pounds. At least that's me.
The last time I was at his house, he made buffalo meatballs with his own homemade buffalo bourbon sauce. I probably gained 5 pounds after eating like 2 of them. Meanwhile, he's like throwing down like 20 of them in one bowl.
Right. See, I would smell it and I'd start gaining weight. And I'd be like, I didn't even eat it. Didn't even get to enjoy it yet. So that's funny. What other questions you got for me? Come on, fire some questions at me. I know you guys got what juicy stuff you want to know.
Well, I do have a question. When you said about some organizations, like let's say sports, like let's say kids football, they do fundraisers. What would, if somebody wanted to get involved in that type of fundraiser for selling tickets, what would they have to do to
email? So they can email me directly, justin@hpgstampede.com. I really, like I said, any of these programs, when it comes to the nonprofits or the groups and stuff like that, I'm working with them. I don't want to say exclusively. I have Greg and Colin helping me and doing stuff. But yeah, they can email me directly. I have some information, bullet points that I can give them. I avail myself. I go to a board meeting in 2 weeks. Let's see here. On the 29th, I have a board meeting at night to meet with the whole association so they can understand. They can fire all their questions at me. And even though we're not as a partnership like a nonprofit, the group sales for these youth programs mean a lot to me, and I want them done right. So they can reach directly out to me, my assistant GM Greg, and our emails are very, very easy. It's the website. Just put our name. So Justin@HBG Greg @HBGstampede.com, and just say, hey, I'm interested in any group packages or group sales. We have a couple other variations of those where we can do, a little more inclusive. Like we had a bachelor party that, about 20 guys, and they wanted to do like come down the field, wear shirts, and they got a little package and everything together. We did a sale. They get more of a discount than a fundraising, but any of them can reach right out to us, and we'll give them all the information, and we're going to try our best. Hey, bring a banner and let's take a picture down the field, the mascot. The big thing I think we've talked about this before, but our field is open after the game for the fans to come down on. So the kids, and we always encourage everybody, stay. Even when we're blowing out a team and killing them, stay, enjoy it. Because when you go down on the field, the players will stay for about 15 minutes after the game, sign and take pictures, take autographs. So if the kid bought a shirt or they bought a football up at the team store, they can bring it down. The team will sign it for them. Our marketing people will have Sharpies, and they'll be out on the field giving them to the players. We'll have our mascot on the field taking pictures with people. If you have an organization or a group of guys or friends or a fundraiser came, they can come down and take their picture on the midfield or in the end zone with the field goal above them and things like that. We're going to enhance that. That's not fully finalized everything, but they definitely will be open. I mean, one of the things that we really encourage the players, we do some internal awards. So our league allows for a game bonus, a win bonus. Everybody gets $50 more for when we win. We also are going to be doing like best touchdown celebration and play of the game, and that's voted on. So we encourage the touchdown celebrations. We encourage different things. So I think the kids in the past have always enjoyed that. We had a player that was nicknamed was Spider-Man. Stokes would score. His name was Spider-Man. He used to go and jump on the wall sideways and hang on it like a spider. And then Scorpio Brown was a wide receiver that we had out of Richmond. And Scorpio, in his player introductions, he would come out crawling like a Scorpio, number 11, Scorpio Brown. And he'd run out and he's like crawling and everything. The kids love that. And when he scored a touchdown, he'd do that, Scorpio crawl. And so we might set up some, little things where the kids can sit on the wall or do little, photo ops. We have a big machine that we paid a lot of money to. It's not big. It's very portable. But it'll be in the rotunda where they can put their email or their phone number and take pictures, with the animals on that game, or it'll have like a border with the game day. And it can send it right to their email or phone number. They can list it on social media. So this machine, you've probably seen it. It's got like an iPad. You go to your like wedding and you see they have like these photo booths and stuff.
Yeah.
So when we were looking at, what does it cost to rent this for the game? Nobody told me for $500 more I could buy the machine. So I'm like, well, we're going to buy the machine.
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
Looking forward to having that and just, we'll maybe bring that down and do like photo op down on the field. They're all free, but let the kids stage it, or maybe we'll throw out a helmet and some pads and, a jersey that they can put on, and we'll make a line and have staff let them put it on after the game and take a picture.
That's cool.
Yes.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
But mine's more with the player development end. And I think I probably already have a good idea what your answer is going to be based on the things that are very important to you.
Yeah.
But what is the biggest intangible quality you're looking for in a player? Because there are, for all the metrics, there's certain things that you can't measure in a player.
Yeah. So that's two-sided question, because on a football side, the outside of metrics, can you play ball? There's guys, and I'll say this, and I would say this to him in his face. I'll probably say it game 1 at halftime when we retire. Will Hines is from Harrisburg. His family, his dad was a pastor. He grew up here. He played college football. Great guy, great man, great father. But if you looked at him, you would probably be like, I don't know, football player? Or, yeah, he can play football, but how in shape is he? He had a little bit of a belly, He's not better shape than I'm in, by far. But the thing about him was he was a dog. So all those metrics, he didn't excel. Like, he wasn't bad. He wasn't the top one. Then you get into practice, and he practices good. He's not setting the world. I mean, he would make some plays, but when game time came, I don't know if he leads the league or leads the Stampede in interceptions, but I can tell you multiple times, including when I coached and when I owned the team, we moved him down the depth chart, the second or third, and an injury or something, and he'd find himself go back up the depth chart. And pretty much once he got in the game, it was real hard to get him out of the game. He was what we used to call a nose for the ball. He played MAC, so he was allowed to go in a 6x6, an arena ball that the MAC can play 6. It's called a box, 6 yards from the line and 6 yards left, right. Okay, until the quarterback pump fakes, hands off, or breaks the box, they have to stay. They can blitz through the A gap, but he can't. He can go left or right, but he can't drop. So you can't have like 4 or 5 guys in zone defense and back, against 3 receivers. But he had this nose, and he was taller guy, and he could literally blitz and just, he wasn't the fastest, wasn't the strongest, but nose. Sometimes he'd drop into coverage and just undercut the receiver. Like he knew how to get in the lanes. Another one of my fan favorites, Jermaine Thaxton, probably the best football player I've ever on defensive side ever coached. I coached him Piranha, Chambersburg Cardinals, and with the Stampede. He had one of them guys. He played at West Virginia, played for Tulsa. He in the arena ball. He just played for many years, and just what a hawk. So the intangible we look for is, do you have an instinct? Do you know how to get in the passing lane, especially on the line? I'm biased because I coach defense and linebackers. So I look for, how do they know how to get into those lanes? I don't have to line them, because every quarterback has a different arm angle, different, trajectory based upon their height. So are they getting in that line of sight? Are they close enough where the quarterback thinks he's got it, and then they close down that window, that passing lane? On a DB, I look for, I always liked physical. Richard Johnson comes to mind, a kid out of, I think he played for Morgan State, but he played out of Baltimore. And he was physical. So he's 6'2", he's got 220 pounds. He could take, because like arena ball, I personally like to most of the time shade the guy with their backs to the inside, backs to the quarterback. I want them to jam and force the receiver to the wall. We use the wall as a teammate. If you get them to the wall and you're getting physical, you can put them over the wall. I mean, unless you're doing something crazy, most of the time they ain't calling that. And most of the receivers are pretty boys, and that's where I said we're going to be physical. You're going to see that. You're going to be like, this defense comes out and hits people. If you can't fight through that jam, the average football comes out in 2.4 seconds in arena football. 2.4 seconds. If I can jam you for 2.4 seconds, you're out of the play. You're useless. Don't care how good you are. So I look for guys that are physical. I've always liked physical players. This is a game of speed. It's a game of, they want high scoring and stuff, but I like them to be physical. I like the intangible, a nose for the ball, hard. And then that's the football side. The other side of a complete football player is one that understands it's a team game. They understand it's an organization. They understand that we're not a multi-million-dollar organization, and they want to be community-based. Like back to what you're going to hear me say it with everything. But I want my players. And that already, I would say we're farther ahead in that now than we were when I owned the team before. It's infectious. It's what we want. And I'll give you the example to back it up. We have a group that's all the coaches and the players that are on that 40-man roster, and they're coming to the camp. We post in there, hey, this Saturday, there's an event. We try to give them a week notice. I need it, players and coaches from 12 to 3, this location, wear your Stampede sweatshirts. If you don't have a sweatshirt yet, let me know your size. We'll bring them for you, blah, blah, blah. I don't make them register. I don't make them sign up. They just know that I expect them there. We've now done the Polar Plunge. We've done the Bourbon and Brews at Wars. We've 12 to 15 guys show up every single thing. The guys that are showing up are not Harrisburg.
That's great.
We had the brothers from New Jersey coming, bringing their girlfriend. Lloyd Banks is coming from Baltimore, and he's making the events, and they're dressed. So even a step further, talking about what I'm looking at. So Colin's at the polar plunge. He goes in, he's getting dressed. We had an igloo where it was heated and warm, and he's in there getting ready and everything. We have the pop-up tent. We have the table. We have a prize wheel. We're giving out koozies, football, shirts, tickets to games, things like that. He goes in there, not probably what I would have preferred, but I mean, not he did wrong, but I didn't realize he had left. The players just jumped in. Nobody asked. Nobody told him. Next day I turn around. Kids are standing around talking to him. They're spinning the prize wheel for him. And again, I didn't know this happened. Cullen put on the prize wheel. You'll laugh at this one. He wrote, "Oops, you didn't win this time," or something. It was like every 5 of them. And I'm like, make a winner out of everybody. Well, Cullen puts this on there, and my assistant head coach, Rick, turns to me. He's there, and he's like, "Did you see what Elvis did?" We call him Elvis. He goes, "Did you see what he did?" He goes, "You didn't win this time. Good luck next time," or something. And I was like, oh, my goodness, you got to be kidding me. And the players automatically didn't miss a beat, didn't tell him. They're like, oh, forget that. Let's spin that thing again. And they're spinning, the kid's spinning it again. And then the kid gets like a koozie, and he's like, I really wanted the football. He's like, well, it's your lucky day. You're getting the koozie and the football. That's what I look for. That's not football. Can they jump in? They see that the prize table's there. They see that the kids are standing there wanting to pull that wheel. And can they interact with the family, talk to them, tell them, hey, we're playing at the Pennsylvania Farm Show Equity Arena. Here's our schedule card. Check us out. Come on, our social media or Facebook or website. Do they just jump in? That's the cult. That's what I'm talking about, that culture, that team culture, and understand that's what I mean when I say community-based team, where they don't just show up and like, well, I play football. All right, I'll let the GM run that. I'll let the volunteers help out with that, or the ladies. They jump on it. Colin never had to get back over there at the table because I had 8 players standing around talking to all the kids, and we had 30 people around it, and they're talking to parents and, telling parents about it. We did the bourbon and brews, same situation. So do we get to the point where maybe I have an event and I don't have enough people and I have to say, hey, I need you to come or whatever. But I think we're doing it right when we can announce it and they just show up. We have coaches showing up, front office staff showing up. I mean, Greg Fennell's been at every event, my assistant GM. He shows up at everything. And, he's a mature, real nice guy. And we have cigars, which I'll send you guys some cigars, Stampede cigars now.
Wow.
And
nice.
From a sponsor. So we were at that polar plunge, and we struggle. There's some mountains that we run into, one of them being the news covering us, we're the stepchild that they're not sure if they want to cover us yet. But when we pack an arena, they're not going to have a choice. When we have NFL players coming to our games, they're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to come cover the Harrisburg Stampede football team and bring their sports reporters out, because they're not going to just be able to get a little clip from us, a picture, and run it on their news and give an update on our score. We're going to be the hottest thing happening in the spring on Saturday nights. So they're going to have to come cover it. So at the polar plunge, and I said to Greg, I was like, why don't you go give some of those news people, they're interviewing everybody about the polar plunge, and none of them will return. We send out press releases all the time to the news people, and they just don't love us, and it's okay. But he went down and he gave all of the
They're
kids.
missing out.
They are missing. I do think they're missing out. I think that they're missing out on the family and community side of it, and also understanding that, the common thing that I heard from a lot of places, farm show and different places, we want you to run it more professional. We want you to do better. Okay, well, we need help. We need help. You can get us to the masses that we can't do on our own, and you can help us by selling our product and letting people know we're here. And I'll take care of the business side. I'll make the games fun. I'll make it right. I'll do it that way. But he went to our GM, assistant GM, went down to every cameraman and gave him 2 cigars. And, and he was like, hey, if you could put a good word in for us, with the news crew, like, hey, it's Stampede. It's got a foil label, says Harrisburg Stampede and all. So I'll mail you guys some of those too, with some of those posters. They're pretty cool. We partnered with a cigar company, and to do. I didn't want to just give the traditional go in there and be like, here's a football, here's a T-shirt. I felt like, some of our companies, which leads me into another little side bit. Talking about the mountains, the part that we are struggling with some of the corporations, the companies backing us, and the partnerships. I would say we're probably, a good chunk behind where we needed to be, which means more money out of my pocket. But that's okay. I would say the small and medium businesses, the smaller businesses have really stepped up, being less cash sponsors, but trading where they can for something that we need. I had a great meeting today. It looks like we're going with for the first time in the Stampede history, we're going to have a new team chiropractor, and I'm super excited for him. He's just a phenomenal guy, and I'm excited to partner with him. We did not get any large company medical providers this year to sponsor and work with us. That's sort of the foundation of a lot of teams. We used to have WellSpan. It pulled out this year. I mean, it's been 10 years, so it's not like they pulled out. But we went back. I had a great relationship with them. I talked to them. They gave me courtesy, gave me good meetings. But they're really not in the Harrisburg market anymore. They're just primarily in York. So it wasn't advantageous. They're having staffing issues with PT guys and stuff. They have a lot of commitments with high school games. But, a couple of the other companies, I'm not going to name all of them, but everybody knows the hospitals and stuff, were more like, we can't do it this year. We'll do it next year. So we're going with PT, smaller companies that private physical therapists that will be on our practices and our game day. We always have ambulance service at the games, things like that. So we are behind on some things where we should be or want to be. I feel like when they see the arena packed and they see the energy and the positivity and that we're making in the community and on the football field, I think that it will set up a good tone for next year. But I am disappointed. I feel like there's a lot of companies that preach that they're community-based. They're about helping their community. We've not had anybody. We've been trying to sell our kids club, which we'll be announcing. It's actually on our website. If you go to the Stampede website and go to the tickets, you will see what it is. I'm not going to – actually, I can give you guys exclusive. So we've not sold this. We've not talked about it anywhere. You're the first ones to hear it. It went on this week. But our kids club is going to be a $50 package for kids, 13, I think, and under. I think it's 13 and under. They get a backpack, Stampede backpack. They get a T-shirt, a mini football, and they get a ticket to every game, all 5 games.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's
$50.
huge.
Huge. Even if you're a parent, you only can make 1 or 2 games with them. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Right. With everything involved, yeah.
Everything involved.
Absolutely.
And we're going to sell that. We have not been able to get a sponsor for that. We've been rejected pretty hard on that. And it's not a lot. We're not asking for a lot. I know what the national average is. I know what the other teams are asking. I know what the Senators and the Bears are asking. But we've just ran into a lot of obstacles where companies are like, we've given the proposal. So, and I'm not going to call out any companies or anything like that, but I would say I'm disappointed in the community from that aspect, because if you're getting to be the headliner and co-brand our kids club, the sponsor for the Harrisburg Stampede Kids Club, brought to you by ABC Company, there's return on that. Like, you're getting that feature. They've not been. So then we've also tried to go to every football camp and get a sponsor. And I've asked for $1,000 from a company, basically just to cover the shirts for the kids. And I don't want the same shirt. So right. I want a different sponsor for each kids camp. And what we did is we thought it'd be cool to make a triangle, like a pyramid, thing, with the Stampede logo, the sponsor logo, and then the top would be the nonprofit that we're the foundation joining together to lift up and support that nonprofit. So the Boys and Girls Club might have, yellow shirts. The Bethesda Mission might have blue shirts or red shirts, and we thought it'd be good. And we haven't even had that. Good luck with that. So we're still going to do those. You're going to see those shirts. We're going to still do them. Just means we might be writing some more checks, and we're going to release the kids club in the next week or 2. Still trying to get a sponsor for that. But we actually went ahead and just put it onto the website And then we're going to start promoting that really big because it's a huge value. It's a $50, you have to buy your parents' ticket, but I mean, we're giving you a really cool backpack, a t-shirt, and you're getting a mini football with it, and we thought it'd be cool to co-brand. All those have the sponsors logo and our logo on it. And so the kids can have that.
Yeah.
And so it's not all peaches, but it's we have had some great companies step forward, ran some specials on marketing. I will say once we got into January, a lot of the companies started signing up. We're working on a really big promotion. I really cross my fingers, hope it hits with Papa John's. Papa John's suggested doing, if we score over 40 points, you get 40% off pizza that week.
Nice.
And so, with the ticket stub or whatever. Using the Stampede, they don't know we normally average in the 60s. Our points. So I don't know if he did his research on that. But
people get some discounted pizzas.
Yeah, so we think that'd be cool. And then we'll have some in-game promos, like games that we're doing. So one of the games is like, in a football uniform, carrying a football, can you carry the pizza box, run back and forth? Or can the kids put the pants on, the jersey, the helmet, grab the football, they got to run a couple stations and then run back. Then we're going to do Triple P Fitness, a sponsor. They're going to do a tug of war for the kids, and they're going to have shirts for each team. They'll throw on their shirt and have a big tug of war and, see who wins it, and then there are things like that. So we'll have a couple, but we're streaming the games. Those are going to be awesome. And a couple, we haven't had luck with a few, so I won't name the big bar and grill that hasn't agreed to their contract. But we do have a few other restaurants, namely Center Street, one of my favorite places to eat, Center Street Grill in Enola, PA. They're going to be streaming our games live. PCN picked up our games, so PCN will have, that is huge. PCN will be running them live on Saturday nights. 6:30, our play-by-play and color analyst will go on. They're going to talk about the team and who we're playing and all that. And then, so it's cool. And PCN is going to be huge for us.
Yeah, that is.
That's the first in the Stampede history.
And, echoing what we talked about last episode, and you said the word culture. And this isn't kissing ass. Because you're doing us the favor coming on the show.
Yeah.
No, you guys are doing me a favor, man, promoting us.
It starts with you. I mean, you as the leader and the face. I mean, you're projecting out what you want from the team and from the fans. And like we talked about it last time when we were wrapping up the show after you had gone. We're all in as supporters of the team.
Yeah, I believe
because we believe in everything you're saying to us.
And what helps is so that you have that positive energy that just spreads, and that's huge.
Appreciate that.
And I know for me, it's if you have somebody who is that positive, that energetic about what they believe in, it's hard not to get behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the thing is professionalism and doing it the right way. If you're going to do anything, you might as well do it the right way. And I do believe in people. I believe in our business partners. I believe in our nonprofit partners that they're going to be putting the energy into it on theirs and promoting us, and it's all going to work out. It's going to come together. Doesn't mean it's always easy. It doesn't mean there's days where I'm a little more stressed than others, but from a standpoint of, I can't discount the partners that have believed in us, that have invested. I mean, for a company to relaunch, if you really think about it, it's crazy. We relaunch this team, we go and present to them our vision, and we show them what we're doing, and for them to give us, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 and pay for advertising with us, they're believing in us. They're there, and they're partnering with us. So I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let the fans down. I want the game day experience to be fun. I want the kids to enjoy it. I want the parents to enjoy it. And the football part's the easy part, believe it or not. The coaches handle that, and the football player. I mean, I don't have really much hands to get it. I get on the calls every once in a while with the coaches, but I do appreciate. I mean, I appreciate you guys even bringing me on, letting us talk about it. It always is so much information. I feel like I'm overloading people with it, but I'm like, if they just knew we have 4 or 5 people all working on this, different things. And I'm just I'm lucky because I have a strong team around me, and I'm trying to always grow our team, and I'm always trying to, I envision, I can't tell everybody all my vision, but 2-3 years down the road, where we're at, what we're doing, where people are coming in, and you guys can do a podcast and do something live from the game, you know what I mean, where we give you media credentials and you get to do some stuff, talk about the game right there for whatever you want, and we get a couple collabs, where you guys can get on talk to our play-by-play people, and all that, or come out to a practice and run a podcast. All you need is the internet, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And do something like that where you get to, we pull a player right off the field, talk to them, interview them. They love that. The coaches like that. So you can sit there and see, because I feel like the more people see that, the more real it is. They get to see the behind the scenes and see the meet the players. If you meet the players and you like them, you end up following more, Yeah.
Right.
So that's where we're really getting, we're getting close because we go to camp in March, and we're really hoping. I really hope with the presentation of the uniforms to really start launching some of the players. I mean, we're obviously always trying to peak our roster and get the best players for the season, and that could be in the week before the season. But right now, I think we're getting pretty close to honing in. I always feel bad though, the human side that we bring 40 guys in, 15 of them are going to go home. They want to play, but
right,
but that's life. I mean, hopefully, what we always try to do is keep them involved. Offer them to still work with the team if they're local, still be around. We get injuries. I've had serious injuries to minor injuries to, you never know, economic issues. Somebody passes away at home and a player needs to go home, and so you could be 1 or 2 players away from being back on the roster. So I always tell them to, keep ready and be ready, because you never know when your number's going to be called.
That's true. And you were touching on the highs and lows of everything you're going through. I mean, life is about learning from those lows so that you can enjoy those highs so much more. And I have no doubt that when this season hits and at the end of the season, you're going to see everything you wanted to see. I truly believe that. Yeah. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
I am buying everything you're telling me, because I know it's coming from a place of honesty and heart.
Yeah.
And that, I think, our listeners
it's easy to get behind.
Are gonna hear it from you talking to them.
Yeah, and if anybody's ever looking to volunteer, we're going to be pushing in the next couple of weeks game day staff. I'm looking to have about 30 game day staff. You'll have your own game day, apparel. You'll be able to come in. We're looking for basically, we have a game day manager who will run the volunteer staff. We might be from collecting tickets with our merchandise, and our ticket manager working in the ticket booth, to volunteers for our merchandise booth, to ushers. We don't really have ushers. We more have people helping people figure out where to sit and where everything's going on and stuff like that.
Right.
Obviously, we're going to try to funnel everybody to the center for cameras and stuff, but we want to have a lot of staff, volunteers. I'm running a pretty good incentive. It's a volunteer position, but if you volunteer for the 5 home games, we don't pay you, but we will give you, between merchandise and tickets for your friends or family, we will give you those to really, so your friends can enjoy it too. But yeah, we're looking for some volunteers, so they can reach out to us also. They can email Greg at hbgstampede.com or Justin. Prefer Greg. But But let them email him. We're going to be putting out that. And like I said, we're excited. And if there's a business that's listening, or there's people that want to get involved sponsoring a kids camp, or want to know how can they get involved and find out more information, doesn't commit you to anything. But if you want to find out more information on what we're trying to do, we're not doing it to make money. That's why you're never going to hear about these football camps if you're not hearing it from me talking about it to you guys. It's not on a promotion board. It's not on a graphic. It's not being social media blasted. But we are looking, if there is a company that wants to come in and say, I'll partner with you, I'll give you $1,000 for 100 kids to be at camp and have a shirt. And if it's, it'd be your dentist office or a pizza place that wants to give them a coupon, whatever we can give them any informational packet that you want, or you just want to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Put your money where your mouth is. I say this all the time. I own another business, so I know what I'm talking about. It's so easy to say, oh, I care about the community. I care about kids. I care about all these initiatives. Okay, well, there's a lot you can do about caring, but are you putting your money where your mouth is? And I know there's a lot of big companies that spend a lot of money, doing different things. This is an opportunity for small and medium businesses to get in and really make an impact. $1,000 can pay for the whole entire camp, them to have their own shirt, have your logo on the shirt, and to be featured. We will invite the sponsor out there to help us be a part of it, see where their dollars went. And what greater gift to come see 80, 100 kids enjoying themselves in clean, safe, fun environment. I mean, the world we live in today, they can't put 100 kids in the inner city in any park, without safety issues and stuff. Every one of my players and staff will be FBI background checked, clearance, and we're going to put these kids. We're going to have so much fun with them. It's a 90-minute camp. We're giving them shirts. We're going to do this. We do have, and I will say this, I don't want to name the company yet because they haven't signed a contract, but we do have some companies that have stepped up and said, when the camp's over, I'll bring the pizzas. That's helping too.
Yeah,
they didn't give us the money.
Yeah, that's great.
They're bringing 40 pizzas out for all the kids to eat and drinks. You know what I mean? So there's ways to be involved, and like I said, you don't have to sit there and spend $10,000 and all that. You can spend a little bit of money, and it's $10 a kid. That's covering their shirt, and we're having staff footballs and stuff like that. We'll provide all that. We're going to bring out all the dummies and all the cones and everything, and really just have a cool camp with the kids. And and everything will be appropriate, age appropriate, and how many. So if you want to sponsor the Easter Seals special needs, I was talking to somebody today, and I was talking about how much I love the Easter Seals, and the doctor, we had a meeting about the chiropractor. There was a person in that meeting that had a nephew, special needs. So I'm sitting there talking about it, and it's just nailing them, and they're like, yeah, I got to do something with you. I'll be there. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'll be there to help. And because at the end of the day, getting involved and showing you care is good for your inner being, your inner self. You feel rewarded, like you did good. It's also good business sense. I believe in good karma. You do good things, it comes back to you. So now we're just looking for a couple companies that want to say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. It's not in my 2024 budget, but I own a business. Okay, my $2.2 million budget is not that freaking hard lined that I can't find $1,000 somewhere to do it. There's nothing makes me laugh more when I'm sitting in a company that's multi-million-dollar company. And they're like, our budget's already done. And I'm like, bro, don't tell me that you guys have every penny spent and know where it's going and not, you know what I mean? That's not the way the world works. I understand how business is. I understand if you have $100,000 in marketing and advertising, you might have it allocated already, but you can find $1,000 if you care.
Right.
And you want to.
And I think what's going to be nice is, like you said earlier, you said you're going to lose money this year. But also, I always was told this is the farmer's mentality. That first year, okay, yeah, you may lose, but yet you're getting yourself out there more and more, word of mouth, all these events. It's going to grow. It's just going to
I think
bloom.
I lose money year one, but my 5-year plan I won't. And
it's just going to grow. It's just going to grow for you.
People ask me, my best friend is a lawyer, and he's sort of, he'll hear this podcast. He's not I say he's risk adverse, so he doesn't really like me doing this. That would be the best way to say it, but he's a supporter of me. So even when I do things that are bigger than, tackle things. But I think that even he would tell you, like I said, I'm not in this to make money. If I can just every year budget, break even, like I'm fine, grow it. If we increase our revenue and our attendance, then that's more money we can spend into the team, doing things for the players, doing things for the fan experience, all that. I don't do the Stampede. I'm not a nonprofit, but I'm not doing it to pay me. I don't take a salary from this. I take salary from my other business. I want this to be complementary of my other business, taking the autographed players, bringing them to the games, doing the signings. I'll get some inventory from my store. I'll sell wholesale to, some other places, things like that. But I want it to be an experience for the fans. I want it to be fun. But I'm not doing this to make, now I don't want to lose $250,000 every year, but I also don't want to I don't have high expectations to make a ton of money. I do feel like that my target by year 5, we can have 4,000 to 5,000 fans every game. We can run a very budget-friendly team that's highly competitive on the field and be a very good, family-friendly, community-based team, and make budget. Like if we bring in $250,000, we're spending that on the arena, we're spending it on the players, and we're spending it on the game experience for the fans, making it a family-friendly, fun experience. I don't need to, if I make 5,000, 10,000, so be it. But it's not really about money. It's about being a great experience and a great time for the players. I would hope that roll the dice in 5 years that we have one player that played here that gets somehow to the NFL, that we helped him, How cool would that, to have
amazing.
Launched him to the next level.
That would be.
He got a break and he got in and, and everything like that. I mean, there has to be our Kurt Warner out there.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? He played arena ball, Iowa Barnstormers. So
who are now in the IFL.
Yes, correct. They're in the IFL. And so we can truly get our Kurt Warner, you know what I mean? We can find that guy. We can be the team that gives somebody a chance and believes in them and has a positive effect on the player, has a positive effect on the kid. How many kids do we sit there and turn into that love football, and enjoy it? And that's the big thing too. I've been talking, somebody asked me and said, so we're trying to get the football associations to come. I said, no, it can be soccer, baseball, basketball, any of them can come. Every team needs a team building, coming together, thing. It doesn't have to be one sport. We don't have to pigeonhole ourselves.
Right. And the kids who play soccer and the kids who play baseball or basketball, a lot of them, and I was a kid once. We all were kids once who played different sports. We just love sports.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. We want to go and we want to have fun.
So you guys play hockey and soccer?
I played hockey.
What didn't I play growing up? I played baseball. I played basketball, soccer. I was a competitive golfer as a teenager.
Yeah. I played baseball. I did 1 year of midget football. I did basketball and hockey.
Okay. So off subject a little bit, but I figure I need to know before we get off of here. Who are we all rooting for this weekend in football?
San Francisco.
Okay. They're going to win.
And I'll preface it with this reason. They haven't been in a playoff game since 1992. I'm rooting for the Lions. I want to see that team continue this miracle run.
Yeah.
Because that fan base has more than earned it.
I've been a San Francisco fan all my life, so it's got to go with
that's cool. I'm a Bills fan. So I'm going Bills. I think the Ravens win. 49ers, and I'm rooting for the Lions. So
I was just shocked only one game last week was actually close. Everything else was just a blowout.
Very lopsided.
I was really shocked.
I like
about
that though. I like the you don't know what's going to happen. We were just talking about this tonight, me and my wife, because my wife's a big football fan. She's a Steelers fan. Fun fact, she has an amazing spiral throw. David can attest to that. But we were talking tonight, like, it's unpredictable. You really don't know. I mean, you have an idea that the Bills are probably going to be in it. It could be the Niners could be in it, but for the most part, it's pretty unpredictable. The top dogs for the most part are just done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty interesting because, I mean, you got, I think the 49ers are strong. I think the Ravens are really strong, but I think there's teams like, sort of like the Cinderella story of Detroit. Do you really want to play Detroit right now? Do you really want to? Because, I mean, like, Detroit's that time that you're just like, if Detroit plays really one good game, they're one game away from the Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah.
As the Bills are like, I'm a Bills fan, but like coming into it, everybody started saying, I said, we did not have our best season compared to the last 2 or 3 years, but we probably are the best team we've had in the last 2 or 3 years because we did face some adversity. Now we have a lot of injuries, but I think our defense going into this was better than it was the last 2 years when we went to Kansas City. And, you know, you got to sort of think, like, I was listening to a podcast and these guys were like, does anybody really want to play the Bills? They keep saying the right things, but you really don't because it's like a Mahomes. Mahomes and Josh Allen, they could beat you. Any game, they could just go off. And everybody's like, they're just getting hot at the end of the season. And once they beat Miami, they secured that number 2 seed. I said, uh-oh, it changed. 2 or 7, completely different ball game. 2 seed, we're getting games at home until the championship. I said 7 seed, we're on the road every game. I completely changed my whole outlook on, I thought we were shot, and then we made that late season run. Gets us the 2nd seed. And last week, I really felt like we beat Pittsburgh. They got it a little bit closer, but they didn't really get it close. They got within 1 score, but they never could stop Buffalo almost.
Right.
And then they went down and scored again. But now I feel like we're primed. Yeah, they maybe want Mahomes to win but the home team gets a big advantage. And yes, they played cold, but there's something about Buffalo in the cold. I mean, it's loud. They're going to be rambunctious. And so I think we win by like a field goal there. And then it's going to be really interesting. Baltimore, I mean, yeah, I think Baltimore's and San Francisco are strong teams. But, every team sort of lost a couple games that you're like, what did you do? Like Brock Purdy, when he laid that egg, you're like, against the Ravens? I didn't think the Ravens are that good. And then the Ravens sit there and they've lost a couple games. You're like, And so, yeah, it's going to be a good football this week, but that's who I'm going with. I'm definitely rooting for Cinderella Lions. I won't make picks for championship weekend, but I definitely think 49ers, Lions, and then I think Ravens handle the Texans. I think it's a close one. And what a story, C.J. Stroud down there.
I know.
And then I'm obviously going for my Bills. But I'm trying not to be just a big Bill fan, like being unrealistic. I just think it's our destiny this time. I mean, people don't forget there's a lot of statistics there. We could go analytics all day, but the Bills, Allen and Mahomes are 3-3 against each other. We're 1-2 against Mahomes. He's 0-2 in the playoffs the last 2 years. But they're 3-3, so this is going to be the tiebreaker. And if we were in Kansas City, I probably wouldn't be optimistic. But in Buffalo, I think we can get it done. And, I mean, and it'd be interesting. If you got Baltimore and Buffalo in Baltimore, that's an hour away. I'll be getting tickets to that. And then 49ers and Lions, I mean, four new teams, back that haven't been in a couple of years. And then you throw in, like, I know it's disrespect, David, but I don't know, man. I might have to root for the Lions, just like a Cinderella story. I mean, if you get the Lions and Bills in the Super Bowl, you get a new Super Bowl team. Neither one have ever won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I always feel it doesn't matter how you get into the playoffs as long as you get there. You can just barely make it and win the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've seen that several times in hockey where a team just makes that 8th seed and wins the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we've seen that several times in football
where hockey
getting in.
Hockey, basketball, and baseball, unlike football, I think the home field advantage makes a big difference.
Well,
because
it can.
If you lose one hockey game, you're getting the second. Football, it's one or done. Can you get your team mentally ready for that one home game? A lot easier. I mean, the series, I know what you're talking about, like where the 8th seed's going on and, run to the finals and stuff and everything. But, I mean, if you look at analytics from the last 25 years, we've only had one wild card win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But I agree with you on that part of get in, worry about that once you get in. You just got to get in. I mean, like, does anybody really think the Bucks are going anywhere? I mean, honestly, nobody. They got in. Nobody. I mean, you had the worst division in football. You won the worst division.
Hey, they won. They're happy.
But they did beat the Eagles.
They partied.
But again, the asterisk. Did the Eagles lose, or did the Eagles just fall apart internally? I think there's a combo.
Well, they fell apart completely the last few games. I mean,
six games. 6 of the last 7 games.
Yeah, 6 last. Yeah, I mean, still last few games. They just
that's almost 2 months.
I mean,
I think
who knows what's going to happen?
Teams.
Huh?
I think the 2 hungriest teams in the playoffs right now are legitimately the Bills and the Niners because of how close they have gotten.
Yeah,
and I think
they
Niners
probably
are
want
right
it more. And this is no offense to the Cinderella story Lions. I just think those 2 teams want it more because they can taste it.
Well,
they've gotten so close that they can taste it.
Well, San Francisco made it to the NFC Championship, lost it due to injuries. They lost it to injury.
They would have
exactly if they had a quarterback, but Purdy got injured. That backup got injured.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, there goes that. That you need a quarterback to do anything.
I really thought they were going to win that, and
and now this year they've Purdy had 3 losses under his belt now, but also I feel that humbled him.
Mm-hmm.
That he went from mystery relevant to now irrelevant to, oh no, what just happened?
Yeah, he's a good kid.
He's shocked. Have shocked a lot of people. A lot of people he has shocked with what he's been doing.
Yeah, good kid. I think he's going to be around for a long time though. He plays it right. He's accurate, and that's what I look at. Talking about football analytics. I don't really care about touchdowns because that just means somebody caught it in the end zone. Like that's really not on the quarterback. I look at accuracy and consistency. He's a very, you got a quarterback throwing 70% completion percentage. He's not, he had a bad game through 5 picks or something like that. That's not Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's the 70% over 16 games and 8 games last year or something. That's who he is. Yeah, I like him. I mean, I'm not a 49er fan because, I'm an AFC guy, but the NFC, if the Bills don't go, and I probably would go Ravens just because I'm from Baltimore, but I would definitely be fine with the Lions or the 49ers. We definitely don't want Tampa to win. I'm not a Green Bay hater. I've actually been screaming about Jordan Love. Why more NFL teams don't do what the Packers have done, and it works. Not everybody's like Peyton Manning, has 2 really bad years and then becomes Peyton Manning. He had 20 some interceptions this rookie year.
Yeah, he had a rough
Jordan Love
year.
Yeah, sitting a guy that's a high draft pick. Yeah, they sat him behind Brett Favre, Rodgers, but Rodgers didn't enjoy that. He didn't like it. But look, it made him great. I really do. I think he sat there and gained some stuff. He learned, they didn't have the best relationship. Then Favre leaves, Rodgers starts. Then you start going, oh my goodness, Rodgers making some of those sidearm throws that Favre did, that gunslinger mentality. ends up acting just like him. His exit stage right is just like Brett Favre, and goes to the Jets of all teams. But there's rumor of a rough relationship with Jordan Love because he doesn't want to mentor. Same thing with Favre. But maybe there's something in that. Maybe instead of us talking about it being negative, maybe them not mentoring toughens the quarterback. Jordan Love got toughened, and he learned, he had to. Now he's throwing the ball, and that game against Cowboys, there's 5 throws where you're like, God, he looks just like Aaron Rodgers. He's throwing the ball and slinging it. He's accurate, touch passes, singing it, sidearming it, and he's winning and he's beaten. There's no greater victory besides the Bills winning than watching the Cowgirls lose. I love it. I enjoy it. I literally think I lost a sponsor. I won't tell you who on the air. I'll tell you guys later, though. I was bashing the Cowboys, and one of the sponsors, I'll send you a screenshot, Jason, share it to David. Literally, this sponsor's says something. It's a partner, and he's a Cowboy fan, and I hurt his feelings.
Oh boy!
He's trying to act like I'm. It's funny that a Bills fan that's never won anything. I said that has zero relevance. I'm not even talking about the Bills. All I'm talking about is how much I love watching the Cowgirls choke again.
Well, they do. They dominate during the regular season, but as soon as they get to the playoffs, it's like, what happened? And you expect them to be dominant, but yet they just.
I call it the Jerry Jones curse now.
It could be. It could be just that.
He ran off Jimmy, put what was the other one from Oklahoma? The coach he brought in.
I can see him in my head.
Was it Garrett?
No, he won the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I can see his face. But it was Jimmy Johnson, then it went to he coached at Oklahoma and Jerry brought him in. Oh man.
Yeah, I can see him in my head and
he won the 3rd Super Bowl. Jimmy won the first 2.
Barry Switzer.
There you go. He brought in Barry. Barry won with Jimmy's guys. Then he leaves, and they've not won a playoff game since. Jason Garrett,
fact.
Tony Romo. Tony Romo, great quarterback. Dax lighted it up in the regular season. Well, who's the common denominator here? Jerry Jones. That's where your curse is. It's clearly not Jason Garrett, Romo, Dak, or Mike McCarthy. So I'm loving it. He tried to reverse the curse this year. He tried to put Jimmy Johnson in their Ring of Honor, start smoothing out that relationship a little bit, get some of the football gods to come back around on him. But it's too soon. He's got a couple more years of penance to play to go.
Yeah, just try to lift that curse.
He did. He's like, we're gonna hang you at the rafters with the Ring of Honor, Jimmy. It's long overdue. Long overdue? Dude, that's the reason you won those Super Bowls. He was a good coach and formed that team. You have been irrelevant since then. Let's be honest. First 5 years you owned the team, you was your best years. The last 23 have sucked.
I saw a meme tonight that had a floppy disk, and it said Cowboys playoff pictures on it. And I was dying because it's true. The last time they were relevant in the playoffs, you were saving those photos on a floppy disk.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how long ago.
And I guarantee you, though, if you give a child one of those floppy disks, like, oh, look, a live save icon.
Yeah. Yep.
The last time they won a Super Bowl, you were getting 1,000 hours for free on AOL. All right, I'm done. I got friends who are Cowboys fans. I know they'll get upset.
I got family who's Cowboys fans. You think I care? I think it's hilarious. I mean, let's put it this way: if San Francisco loses, I know I'm going to get the same heat. But it's all sports. It's all fun.
It's all fun. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all about, having fun with it. But
I get so much flack from being a Flyers fan.
Well, they've been a while since they've won too.
This year's been their best year in years.
Don't jinx it.
I'm happy they even made that they're over 500 right now. Jinxing what? I'm just ecstatic of that nature.
Jason, I just sent you the screenshot.
Okay.
And so you can share it with David later. It'll all make sense when you read it.
All right, I will share that with David.
Yeah,
off the air.
Yeah, it's just wild. I mean, he was so mad. So it was like that happened on the weekend, and then Monday I happened to have to send him an email, be like, "Hey, are you back? Are we doing this deal?" Blah, blah, blah. I want to give too many details, and it was like, I think I'm going to pass on it this year. Got it. You're not.
I would not put team loyalty over business.
Well, and I get it, but like, I'll send you a screenshot of what I actually posted. I'll tell you, I said, "Oh my God, roll call. Where are the Cowboy fans at? What is happening? Dak is a fraud. This is the true playoff Dak playing." Laugh my ass off.
Oh no, I saw your post.
Yeah, that's the one that the screenshot I just sent you. It was on that one. And so I was just like, oh my goodness. No way this person's really this person's getting offended by it. And then their comments and some of the other fans, one of the replies from another fan is a dad of a player that I used to coach. He's a Cowboy fan. And he's like, "I can't stand Mike McCarthy. I can't stand Dak," you know. So
I think you're a healthy fan.
I was an Eagle fan.
That's what made me laugh, was seeing that. Yeah. That made me laugh because that's like the default response.
I can't believe an Eagle fan. I'm like, I'm not an Eagle fan. I'm a and I'll tell you the crust of it. My real dad, I grew up outside of DC. My family, I chose the Bills over the Giants. They lost. My family was all Redskins fans. I stuck with the Bills. They lost. My biological dad he's from Texas and he's a Cowboy fan. So I stuck with the Bills, and they lost. So obviously, I don't have a relationship very much with my biological dad. And so I've just always, from 14, 13, 12, been like, I hate the Cowboys. So it is different. I'm a professional Cowboy hater. Always have been every year. It doesn't matter if they were 1-15. I'm going to rejoice. And I'm going to be mad they won the one game. So you're damn right. They go into the playoffs. I'm going to even be more excited. And then the truth of it is, the way they made it sound is like I was watching. That's the only football game on. If you read his comment, like, "Oh, you're watching this game," like there's no other.
What else is on?
It's not like I chose that game. But
I mean, they space them out so you can watch the game. So it's like, what am I supposed to watch? Am I just supposed to skip it?
Right.
Yeah, if that's the game that's on, okay, that game that I'm watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's why they space it out so much, so you can watch every single game.
Correct. I thought it was funny that he went after me thinking I'm an Eagle fan. And even everybody else will try to, it's like, he's not even an Eagle fan. What are you talking about? But, well, guys, I'll let you go tonight. I mean, I really appreciate y'all coming on. I came on your show and letting me come on again and just talk football. And then, like I said, if you have any questions, I'll mail you out some cool stuff that we got coming this week. And then, once you post this, give us a share. We'll post it on our social media and link it to you. And I just really appreciate your support. And if there's any way we can think outside the box, think crazy, think fun, what could we do? And maybe during training camp, I know you got family and kids, but you guys seem like you're up late at night. Maybe one night slide up to the training camp and do a little bit of 30-minute bit at the facility and let you interview some guys. And, it'd be a cool time. I think you guys will enjoy it.
That would be.
I think we would, yeah.
It would be.
And we appreciate you taking time.
You guys been bringing me on now. I got to give you some premier access to the players. And,
Hey, we appreciate you coming on big time for this. I mean, we appreciate it largely.
Yeah, no problem, guys. If you ever need anything, let me know. And thank you all again, and to your fans and your supporters. And I'll catch you guys later, man. Have a good weekend. Go 49ers and Bills.
Take care, Jay. Thank you again. We appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
All right, welcome back to after this long form interview we had with Jay Coble from the Harrisburg Stampede. As always, just a fantastic guest.
Absolutely.
I don't know about. I mean, we could go on, and we have, and we will, about just his energy, his enthusiasm,
his love for the game,
his love of the game, his love of the community.
Well, and the fact that he doesn't care if he loses money on this, or if he well, like you said, if he makes the money from the Stampede, just going to put it back into the team,
right?
Which is a big thing because that means he cares. He cares,
right?
And he's just not just there just to be like, hey, I'm here. No, he cares about everything he's doing, the community, the team, the whole 9 yards. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. He has that much love for this.
Right. What I came away from with this, and this just again makes me go even more all in, completely buying what's being sold, is his heart. His heart to me came through in this interview more than anything. The amount of care he has, not just for the team, not just for the players, but the community, the kids in the community. You're working with an animal shelter. That's huge. He is a good person, and 100%. I will always support a good person.
100%.
He's walking the walk. He's talking the talk, and like we said last time, that's what you want in an owner. You want an owner that cares. You want an owner invested in the area, and he's doing it, and he's doing it the right way. And that's fucking amazing. That is just fantastic.
It's huge. It's hard not to say something. You can't say anything bad. You cannot say anything bad at all.
No, there's nothing bad to say.
You can't. There's literally nothing you can. He's that much of a great person. He's beyond. You can't say he's good. He's great at on how much love he has for everything he does.
Right. Yeah. There's 110% passion coming from him in this, and again, as a supporter, as a fan, you can see where his heart is. What you want. Yes.
You can see where his heart is.
And then he reflected that in what the people that he surrounds himself with on the team. Like, you could pick it up in what he was talking about with the assistant GM and this person and that person and this player and that player, like the players that are traveling from other states to come to a fundraiser when they don't have to.
But they're there.
That starts with him. Mm-hmm. And that starts with the culture that him and the coaches are building. And sign me up. That is what.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you want. If you are a minor league sports fan, if you believe in your local teams, that's an owner you want to run your team. That's who you want to be supporting, because he's 100% invested.
Absolutely.
Not just financially, because invested carries that financial connotation, but that's not. He's emotionally invested.
Yes. He is that, and you can clearly see that, and that is fantastic that he's just not there. Oh, we're a sports team and that's it. We're a sports team and a community team.
Now that, to me, that's a franchise. You're no longer a team. You're a franchise. You're invested. You're part of something bigger than just the team, and the players are clearly showing that they are invested in something that is more than just a team.
And they get behind him too. That's the thing. If everybody that he surrounds him with can get behind him, that's perfect. He has it. He has he has the positivity attitude that is infectious and brings people to him, and that it makes people get behind him then, which is fantastic and what you want.
Yeah, I mean, and we're both parents. Anytime someone goes out of their way to do something for for kids.
Oh
I'm listening.
Yes.
I'm listening to what you're talking about. And I'm not even gonna lie, when he was talking to the kids or the parents of the kids from Easter Seals, that was getting to me. Because that's not that either of us know that situation, but I'm sure we both know people who have been in that situation. And that's a heavy thing. Just to see your kids have that opportunity to just be a normal kid for a little bit. When they don't get that choice all the time. Just that, I mean, that's the power of being a good person and creating opportunities where there weren't any. And he's right. Everyone wants to make something new. And he's like, no, let's work with what exists. Let's make that something that we can do.
Like I said, why reinvent the wheel? Why do that?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, he said himself, why do it? And he's 100% right. You know, you can work together and make something better than what individuals can do. Work together, make it big.
And like he was talking about with all the indoor leagues, instead of and I'll look, you all know I'm a big pro wrestling fan, and I'm a smart mark, and I'm a bit of a wrestling historian. You all are aware of it, so just understand this is where I'm going here for a minute. It's almost like all these football leagues that are all over the country are just running a territory. They're an old school, they're like a wrestling territory. Oh, you got here, you got here, you got here. Instead, if they were smart, they'd combine their efforts and have a national league that could compete. Because even the IFL, which is technically the biggest indoor football league, obviously they're the indoor football league, it's the IFL, but they're the biggest league in indoor football at the moment because we really don't know what's going on with the new arena football league. But even they're not nationwide. So if you put all these leagues together, that's huge. And he's right. If they would just combine their efforts, you'd have something really special.
Oh, you would. Absolutely.
And he's right. Not everyone thinks like that.
No.
And going back to having something special, I think absolutely that is what the Stampede have right now. They are building something special. And I can't wait to see what this season brings for them. I know we plan on going to some games, whether it's me, you, and a couple other people, or you and your family, or me and my family. We definitely plan on being at games. And, you know, for me, I want to watch this unfold because I meant what I said to him. I think he is going to see everything he wants to see happen at the end of the season. I think when that final play is called and the game's over, he's going to be able to look back and say, yeah, it happened. What I wanted to see happened happened.
And have a big smile on his face from ear to ear.
I absolutely believe that. And like I said, it wasn't kissing his ass because he came on our show twice. It's because you can feel what he's saying, and that's huge.
He has that positive energy. He has that infectious positive energy. You just have to get behind.
Yeah. And you know what I thought was really cool tonight?
It's just one of those things. It's just he's just that type of person. He's a great, he's great. He's a great person.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed hearing him, the sports fan, tonight. I thought that was cool. He's like, hey, let's talk about this. What do you got? What are you thinking? That was fun. And that's just, at the end of the day, he was no longer Jay Coble, the Harrisburg Stampede owner, and we weren't David and Jason of the Non-Linear Sports Podcast. We're just three guys
just BS and
talking
football.
Sports. Yeah.
BS and sports. Yeah, exactly.
And that's all this is about at the end of the day.
It is.
This show is seriously just for fun, talking about sports.
get away from the real world.
Yes.
And just listen to us banter for who knows how long.
Because that's, we all need that reprieve from seriousness. And if we can do that even just for ourselves, it is needed and appreciated. But yeah, I'm more excited than I was after the last episode. And last episode, like I said, we would have ran on the field for him.
Well, here's the thing that we know from this episode, from last episode. Tickets are available now.
Yes, if you live in, and we understand not every listener lives in our area, but if you live in our area, and that would be the Harrisburg,
Central PA area.
Central PA area. Tickets are on sale at harrisburgstampede.com. General admission tickets are $25.
Actually, it's hbgstampede.com.
I'm sorry, hbgstampede.com. Or you could Google Harrisburg Stampede. How about that?
One of the two.
But general admission tickets are on sale for $25. That's a heck of a deal. And you're going to be close to the action no matter where you sit because it is the Equine Arena. And that setup's going to be killer.
I'm eager to see it.
And if you're listening to the show and you've made it this far, I think you know who the Raven he was talking about is and who the Eagle he was talking about is. And if you like either of those teams, get there. Because that's going to be a cool opportunity locally to have. I hope our listeners from outside of the state came away with, for me as a fan, a sports fan, I hope you came away with some insight on what it takes to get something like this up and running. I mean, I appreciate that he took the time to not just talk about the good stuff, but to let us in on some of the struggles too, because
the realistic side of everything that, the business side of things.
Because you can have all these highs, but you're going to have some lows too, and that's realistic, and I appreciate that insight. Because as a fan, you kind of want to know what's going on. It makes you appreciate the work they're putting in. Is how I will word it.
And he's putting it in. He has.
Yeah, he's hustling.
He has it. Yeah, he has it.
And then the people he has coaching, he seems to have. He has it lined up, and I think this team. I think they're going to be tough, and playing a smash mouth style of football in the indoor setting. That's like extra brutal. Because you do have the walls.
It's going to be fun to watch.
You're playing on, I know it's not called AstroTurf anymore, but for lack of a better term, it's AstroTurf on a concrete floor. I mean, there's going to be some padding underneath it, but it ain't going to feel great.
Yeah, it's not going to feel good at all.
If you're hitting hard, and you're hitting hard by the walls, they're going to use a term from MMA and boxing, they're going to impose their will on teams.
Yeah.
And that's a game changer. Because a lot of indoor teams, and we know this from watching games, it's a fast-paced, finesse-style play. So if you're coming in smash mouth, and you're the only one doing it, every team's got to adapt to you.
Oh, yeah.
Because if every other team's playing the exact same way, you're already prepared. You don't have to adapt.
They have to figure out how am I going to how am I going to avoid getting, getting creamed against the wall.
Phrasing.
Okay, getting put over the wall. How's that?
There you go. But man, that was just a fun interview as always. God, I love the insight. I do. I think it's great to know everything that goes into making this happen and what it involves and like talking to these different nonprofits. That's so cool that like he's doing that. And he's right.
Oh yeah.
And it's not an offense to the Bears or the Senators, but they do have to report to the Caps or to the Nats. They don't have that.
Yeah, there's always with the Bears or the Senators.
There's a chain of command.
Yeah.
And that's not an offense to them by any means. They have
the
to follow procedure. He doesn't have that.
It is for them. He is
and
that.
Yeah, he is the chain of command. So he's able to get a little more hands-on and do different things than they can do. And I think that's good too, because it's fresh.
Yeah, it is.
Just again, fantastic long-form interview. I hope every listener came out with at least something from this interview, whether you live in the area or not. I don't think we've never done an interview this long.
No,
and
this is our longest.
It is, but it was awesome. I mean,
it was.
And I hope everyone came away with the same thing I came away with, which is he has a great heart and he cares very much about what he's doing and where he's doing it at. That is a fantastic owner, in my opinion. That is what you want in an owner of a sports team, franchise, what have you.
100%.
With that, let's get to our plugs. Let's wrap this night up. Because it is 1 a.m. as we're recording this.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to go to bed. I mean, I probably won't because I'm hyped. Because I'm ready to go see a game now. Got to be honest with you.
Got a couple months for that yet.
We do. We got a few months from that yet. So let's give a quick plug to the 2216 podcast with our friend Dave. Him and his buddies Greg and Jake. They host a small town rural firefighter podcast. They share stories about their life and times as first responders, along with other various guests that they've had on. Dave is itching to come back on and hang out with us. He knows the door is always open, pardon me. But his life's been a little busy. He's had some things going on. But he mentioned tonight he's itching to come back on and hang out with us and talk sports.
We got to get that scheduled then.
I still want to do that around the horn concept, one episode. Maybe have you as Tony Reali and get a couple of us to play the game. The other ship is the Pop Culture Podcast. The Pop Culture Podcast with a pro wrestling lean. You can find those gentlemen wherever you get your podcasts. One of the hosts of the other ship, Drew, gave us a shout out in the other ship group today, because us and a few other podcasts that they're friends with, he just randomly gave everyone a shout out and said, hey, support our friends. So I chimed in from the NASPod account on Facebook, talking about who we're talking to again tonight, and hope everyone gives us a listen when it drops. Let's get into what I am wearing in the Linktree link in our description. That will take you to where you can access our TeePublic store. I am wearing the brand new NASPod USFL parody logo hoodie. You can get it on a t-shirt. You can get it on a long sleeve shirt, on a Raglan 3/4 sleeve baseball shirt. Let me tell you, wearing this hoodie, I've worn it almost every day this week. No, I have t-shirts underneath. Like if I got to step out and run an errand, I've been wearing this. It is comfy. It is breathable. The logo looks fantastic. David did an amazing job with just me saying, let's do a USFL parody logo like we did the NASCAR one. It looks good. And let me tell you, I'm super appreciative of all the work you put into it because it shows on this hoodie. Not that we're pushing merch on you. We're not saying you have to buy something, but if you want to support us, by all means, go to our store, get a sticker, get a magnet. It doesn't matter. Every little bit means something to us. We appreciate any kind of support you can give us. Just listen. I mean, we're always blown away by the amount of listens we get. So trust me.
We are.
We appreciate you to begin with. But if you want to wear merch for that we have, by all means, go to our TeePublic store. I can, again, say this is a super comfy hoodie. It might actually be my favorite hoodie at the moment. But I don't have anything else other than wrapping up with the visit our social media sites through our Linktree account.
We're everywhere.
Yep, David posts on TikTok. Literally, you can find us on every podcasting platform or music streaming site you can look for. We're on YouTube. We have a sponsor announcement coming up. It was approved. We're just waiting for a sample pack to come through because we actually want to try the products that we sponsor.
Yeah.
Like Fans Idea. Inside baseball, I've never bought anything from Ballsy yet.
I have not either.
Yeah, I haven't either. Sorry, not sorry. I don't think anyone's used our this is awful to be saying on the air, but I don't think anyone's used our Ballsy link. But we have it. If you want to buy male grooming products, use the Ballsy link and get 10% off. If you don't, that's cool too. But we do have another sponsor coming up. And one of us will be trying the product out, and once we try it, we'll start talking about it. But it was approved. We got the email last night. 4 in the morning is actually right, but I've been up for a while.
Well, it is 1:04 now.
Yeah, it is 1:04. I'm almost close to 24 hours. I haven't done this in a long time.
Well,
last time I did this, we were throwing burgers and tinfoil in a bonfire. So, yeah.
Always fun times.
Well, before we wrap up the show, watched Van Wilder tonight.
Oh God, I've not seen that movie in ages.
We watched it so much that I'm laughing at things before they even happen because I know what's coming up.
Oh.
I think I've had these before.
Oh. Hence why I'll never eat any Claire.
I'll drop off a box of them from
Nope, no you won't.
From the Crossroads.
Nope, no you won't. Nope. Watch the movie, you'll figure out why.
All right, well, again, thank you to Jay Coble of the Harrisburg Stampede for joining us again on the show. We appreciate him taking time out of his very busy schedule to hang out with us and talk to us about the team and about his fandom with the Bills. We hope you enjoyed this 82nd episode of the Non Their Sports Podcast. My name's Jason.
I'm David.
And we will talk with you next time.
Have a good one.